gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Grab your gear and let's go.
With the Strafe Esports app, follow your favorite teams and players, and you'll never miss a match again. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.
Oh, crap.
Exclusive Black Equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes.
No Festival da Comida Continente, os melhores chefes e os melhores... No Festival da Comida Continente, os melhores chefes e os melhores pratos acompanham a melhor música. Saboreia as criações dos chefes Kiko Martins, Hélio Loureiro, Justa Nobre, Miguel Gameiro, Marlene Vieira, Manuel Almeida e Juan Perré. Dias 1 e 2 de julho a partir das 11 no Parque da Cidade no Porto. Festival da Comida Continente, o festival que faz da comida um espetáculo.
Last year in the Major Qualifier, but we're looking to change that this year.
如果我们晋级了 Manor 线下总决赛的话，我觉得我们大概会去欧洲先。
We're going to be practicing every day and focusing all of our resources on that. And obviously, the goal is to qualify for the major, so I think that would be probably one of the biggest tournaments for us.
Welcome back to the PGL Major. It is, of course, the offline qualifier, the final step before we head in a few weeks' time to Krakow, where 16 teams will go head-to-head for $1 million prize fund. But more importantly, the title of best team on planet Earth. We're a little way away from that, though, right now, because we're trying to narrow the field from 16 here at the offline qualifiers to just 8 teams. 3 matches down, 113 rounds of Counter-Strike played. Yeah, you heard that right. And we head into game number 4 of the day. It's Godsent versus Dignitas. Both these teams looking to head back to the major at the first attempt. Of course, Godsent for the 2nd time in a row, and Dignitas for the 6th time in the organisation's history, as they are now under the 76ers. We'll start, gents, with Godsent. I would ask, where have they been? I think that's a first question. Many people will have looked at them from the last major, those that don't always follow Counter-Strike. So fill us in. Where have they been?
They've been busy being Fnatic's academy team, essentially, if you think about it. They've all played in Fnatic at one point or in their career, right? I mean, who knows, right?
I think it's a very, very dark place.
You think they've been in a very dark place?
Where Godsent have been in the past couple of months. Yeah, I think it's obvious that they have not been doing, like, good even. I was going to say not too great, but it's not. It's even lower than that. I mean, a team that it does seem like was forced upon them to an extent, because Fnatic obviously took some of the players, they reformed that whole roster, and this was what Godsent was left with pretty much, and they had to make do, and it does not seem like they've been doing a good enough job.
That said, on paper though, Natu, they've got great players. Pronax, great player. Been brilliant over the years. Schneider's great, Lecro, Twist, all players that have had moments in the sun before. Disco Doppler as well, considered a couple of years ago even to be a bright star in the future. So they've got the players in this team.
Yeah, ingredients are there, but you know they're not necessarily the right ingredients to one another. Like, it's all about being able to be a unit and doing things well together. They've obviously now brought in the mastermind of Graham into their coaching staff, Becioso, to in admin.
I mean, actually, that's a perfect coaching addition to this team, because this team is already super dysfunctional. So just bring a guy who has, like, there's, you know, what I don't
Straight
feel
to
like.
the deep waters.
Coach. I think it's more fair to say like a manager. You know, I don't think he's in any shape or form going to, you know, help Pronax out with ideas about what to do in game. And he's probably there just to calm things down. If they get tilted, to take a timeout and say, listen, guys, just have faith in yourself. Have you know, confidence in your abilities, take a breather, and remember what we're here for.
Lighten the mood, and you know, exactly, like, do all the stuff that players don't want to do. You know, make sure that they're as happy as possible in every single situation. So yeah, it's again finding the kind of strengths and weaknesses of one another to be able to be as useful for the team as possible.
And you know, you mentioned Pronax, Paul, and for me, he's one of the bigger problems of this team now. It's never been, you know, even in the Golden Fnatic era, he's been below the other players in terms of performance, and that's fine as long as they deliver and he delivers the system for them in which they can thrive. But here, it's not only been him massively underperforming, more than we've ever seen in Fnatic. It's also been Godsent. He's not playing like any specifically good brand of Counter-Strike. It's still very much reliant on individual plays, you know, similar to that old Fnatic playstyle, and that just can't fly. Now, even the old Fnatic can't do it, and you have players who are not on that same level. It's definitely not going to work. So very slow at making that adjustment.
Let's talk about Dignitas. In many ways, in a similar position, in that we don't really know an awful lot about them as a group of players. We know the players themselves; they're great players as well. But all they've been doing for the last 2 months is seemingly playing qualifiers to get into the major. I mean, they were one of the first teams that played in the very first qualifier, didn't get through that. Played in the second qualifier, didn't get through that. Played in the third qualifier, finally got to the closed qualifier. You know, it's been an enormous road for Dignitas just to get here.
But then again, if you look at the lineup of the players, they have a tremendous amount of experience, having played at the majors, you know, in the big league, so to speak. So to me, I wasn't really. People were talking, are they even going to qualify for the major qualifier through the minor? But for me, I was thinking, you know, the amount of experience they have be playing in those situations, I could see them winning against teams of that caliber. So
and they got better, didn't they?
Progressively, definitely.
The more they played with each other, and that's part of their problem right now, Janko, isn't it? It's the experience of playing together, and also Rubino calling and having to speak English for the first time as a group of players. That's a lot of things to surmount.
Yeah, you have to manage with a lot of things. And when this team initially formed, it looked like them as a poor man's phase, pretty much, because also a lot of the players played in that lineup before, and you have the international lineup. And a good thing that Dignitas has is an actual coach in form of Zeves, who even when he was playing before in Norwegian teams, when they were playing for Team LGB, I think at one of the majors as well, it always looked like he could be a great coach one day potentially, because individually maybe not up to par with some of his teammates, but it did seem like he had a great mind about the game. So that's definitely going to help Rubino, who is new in the role, and give him a few pointers here and there, take a timeout, and maybe see something that Rubino can't while playing.
Yeah, also in this kind of lineup, Fox is going to have a lot of more room to maneuver.
He's definitely had already. Yeah. I mean, during the minor, they gave him great. He could actually be more dynamic as well, rather than that kind of straight shooting, one position kind of author.
Yeah, if you look at the old lineup when he was playing with Michael Ella, he was like in this weird oblivion of not really knowing what he's supposed to do, what kind of role he's going to play. But now he's the main man at the top, for example, so he gets to do a lot of the things that he wants to, and that's how he can dictate the plays and therefore help his team.
Yeah, certainly did that in the minor. Let's move on to the map veto. This is odd because it's not a huge amount of data for either of these teams over the last few months. Indeed, Godsent, for instance, played train 5 times, lost 5 times, so it's not really. Yeah, don't want to go too far down train. But actually, it's Dignitas that remove it.
Yeah, I think it was going to be between Cache, Overpass, Mirage. Those are like the 3 maps that teams play the most, and they have like decent success rate, at least one of the 2.
Is it more as well? Is it Cache Mirage? Is that feeling that, well, we don't have to be too strategical and therefore it suits both teams
Definitely. The Godsent even more so. It's been one of the maps where they have looked decent in the past, at least on the CT side and so forth. But if we do end up on Overpass, that's something that, again, Pronax has liked to play with his teams. Dignitas also embraced that map, when some of them were playing in FaZe. FaZe used to be really good on Overpass, so maybe just translating some of that knowledge to the new team.
Classics.
Tricky map for both teams in some respects as well, because neither of them got decent win rates on it, but both below 50%. In the way that these two match up at this particular major, is this the ideal first match for both teams?
Yeah, I mean, that was something I was going to point out before as well, actually. This is kind of if you think of you could have gotten any of the others, G2s and so forth. I mean, getting this kind of a matchup, if both teams must be very optimistic going into this for sure. As Janko was saying, both these teams have some legacy in the map as well. So again, but still, it's very hard to be judging like who's going to come out on top. It's all about the form of the day to me. To be honest.
Yeah, we're at hour number 6. We've played 3 games. The burning question to which chat wants to know is: do they need a sleeping bag yet?
No, I was going to say how many overtimes going to be.
Is this going to overtime as well? Are they going to need to hunker down and?
Not necessarily. I think because of the way these 2 teams play, I think there are a much higher chances that we're going to see a blowout. One team getting an early lead and then just running away with the game, especially the team that's going to get to start on the CT side, potentially, because especially Godsent, they actually can be pretty good on the CT side when they are aggressive. The problem is because their players are naturally individually strong, have good aim, good mechanics, but when they have to play passive and work off of each other and maybe flash in for each other, that's where you see, the flaws and that level of team play perhaps lacking, and that's something that Dignitas can exploit. The problem is Dignitas practiced enough to have a solid default, good use of utility and so forth? If you're not, then you can get picked off by the aggression, but if you are, you can shut it down and have a very, very strong half even on the T side.
With Dignitas coming through that minor, as we said earlier, they did improve as they went through. They gradually got stronger and stronger, and I know they only finished 3rd in the end, but they got stronger through the tournament. Presumably that would suggest that all they really need is time and practice to get better.
I mean, that applies to any team, to be honest, when you're as new as they are. But there's a question of where does the ceiling, where is the ceiling for this team? We don't really know at this point in time. I think it's going to be a tough journey for them in this qualifier. I think it's way too early into the time span of the lineup. I don't think their map pool is going to be wide enough, even if it's in the best of 1 scenario. So unless they get a really super lucky break in terms of matchups, I don't see them, voting too well.
I mean, they have been definitely improving, but that's because the base was very, very low. With time, it would be a surprise to have anything but improvement.
Yeah. All right. Say hello to the commentary team for our 5th match and bring them in and say good afternoon to them. If they're ready. Are they already? They are ready. How the devil are you both? How the devil are you?
Who's
both?
that guy on the left?
Yeah, you haven't seen
Who's
him
that
for a
guy on the
long
left?
time.
Yeah, it's nice to have you both back.
The guy on the left went and spent 3 weeks in Los Angeles with his family and really relaxed.
Yeah, I heard you've had a bit of a holiday.
Beer.
Can you relax in LA?
Dude,
yeah,
you
can do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just stay by the beach.
No, just stay at home.
Stay 2 weeks in LA, became an actor.
Just stay home.
Yeah,
that's all you have to do.
You know you can, Anders. You know you can.
Well, on that note, yeah, I guess we could moving into a topic on the game itself. Actually,
good choice.
Yeah, I think it's just I know Yanko's trying to derail this whole show.
He
but,
absolutely is. I'm glad you cotton on to that. So let's just keep it professional, guys. All right, take it away, Anderson Simler.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. And yeah, I'm excited for this game. I think actually the analysts are right. The one thing they got right during all of that talk, I think was was just the fact that this is a good matchup for both teams. Like it would have been wild if it had been like Dignitas versus G2 or something. Then I would have said, oh man, that's a tough matchup. But yeah, Godsent versus Dignitas could be really fun.
So you think that Dignitas have had enough time to get that roster together, working well, all that jazz, right?
Maybe. I don't think fully. I mean, when you say get it together, I would say, are they ready to play like a best of 3 against a good team? Probably not. But a best of 1 game, why not? So I think they had a bit of a chance to prepare. That's I think the format sort of plays to that right now. But I don't have them as one of the teams I think that's going to qualify. I'd love to be proven wrong though.
To me, it feels like both of these teams should have a fairly good idea of what the other is capable of, right? They're kind of at the same level in the lineup right now as far as pro teams are concerned. They're kind of hitting on the on that same level. So for me, Godsent, Dignitas, either one could take this away. But I do agree with the analysts. I think this match actually has the potential to be a blowout. One team can get comfortable, never really let the other one hit their stride.
We'll see how it goes. I'm quite excited. I mean, especially because we've got Overpass here. I think that's interesting. We've been seeing a lot on Inferno, and I still think no one is sort of playing Inferno really well. It's a weird map, right? I like the map, and I like the matches that go on it. But I suspect some of them go that far because everyone is just a bit confused,
Yeah, you just don't like watching the teams on the maps. You like the map. You like watching matches on the map. It's just what the teams do. It still feels like there's a lot going on. Hell, Dupree just tweeted not too long ago, that they would like to see changes in apartments, for example, because you never see CT setups in apartments, which is true. It used to be a staple back in the old Inferno, having guys, kind of lurking around in bedroom, and you just don't see that anymore up there at all. It's like somebody runs up, throws an HE into second mid, and then just bails instantly, doesn't even hang around.
Yeah, you're right. It's so risky, isn't it? We'll see how it goes for this particular one. We do have Godsent starting on the T side, and will be Dignitas starting on the CC side. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, if you are joining us here. It's the first day of the major qualifier, the PGL Major here, and this is game number 4, and we still have 4 more coming out after this, so it will be a long day, but it'll be well worth it. I mean, this qualifier is so stacked. There are so many good teams here. I don't know how it's going to turn out. It looks like Godsent are on their way towards the B bomb site. They felt the bomb fairly far back, so you can tell right now they're just scouting out all the positions and trying to see if they could find any stray Dignitas members, and Dignitas aren't giving them anything, so really sort of casual start here, I would say, with both teams.
They have a lot of space now, Godsent, to execute, because they've cleared out connector. They know that nobody's going to be able to rotate in quick back there, and so it's going to be the full rotate coming in from Dignitas. Croman will get a headshot, though. And so there's the man advantage going into this retake, make that 2 and 3.
That's so big for Team Dignitas. The timing was so good for Godsent. They actually did that so well. I thought they were going to just wait for a long time, as teams sometimes do, the first 35 seconds or something, and actually their push into the B-bomb side was perfectly timed with Dignitas saying, listen, we'll just fall back and give up and, go to the A-bomb side. So that they must have almost watched like a demo or something for that to be true. That was very interesting. But Dignitas won anyway.
Thing is, Anders, you got to kind of hit headshots.
Yes.
At some point. And you can get the bomb site for free, yes, but then you actually kind of need to kill the guys who are coming into the bomb site afterwards.
Yeah, most experts recommend that. 9 out of 10 experts say like headshots are important.
The coach role, behind it's like, just get the headshots, guys. We'll do good. We'll do good. Just get the headshots.
But the buy afterwards, Tech9s and 1 UMP and quite a lot of Molotovs. So I mean, this is something that we see Astralis do really well, firebombing out the B-bomb site. Maybe there could be something similar here for Godsent, where they just try and catch out the right positions. But if you notice, they really have a lot of firepower. They aren't stacked with, MP9s or anything like that. They're really ready for this one.
And they know Tensky's in connector. You can already see. Lekro looking for the headshot. Not quite going to find it. Tensky down to 77. That bomb site is open as well. Croman is holding super passive. So Godsent just need to kind of commit to this site. They've smoked them off. Get that bomb planted and ticking.
They used almost all of their utility. Twist has got a smoke, and that's it. Jacob is coming in from behind, and I think they should crack open the bomb set. They're trying to boost, and that tower gets knocked down immediately. Lecro and Schneider left. 2 versus 4 now. 1 versus 4. There's absolutely no chance that he can hold this. They're already defusing on the other side, and not the UMP won't help him either. He's just going to have to back off, and maybe they'll even catch him. Running out of bullets at the end. I mean, I think that's a brave attempt from Godsent, but not really worth it in the end.
I guess because they're getting the bomb plant. They're thinking, okay, well, at least we got that. But you feel like going for a force buy where you're buying off of a plant you got the round before, you're taking a bit of a risk. So,
yes.
And you didn't even really get that many kills either. So really the impact here is it allows for Dignitas to keep building bank. 3 players on Dignitas still floating around $3,000. So Dignitas should be feeling pretty good after this eco round that Godsent got coming at him.
Yeah, I think that's my big worry as well. If they had got the bomb plant and 3 kills on top, I would have said, oh, you know, maybe worth it. But 1 kill, not quite good enough. Rubino falling back, but actually there is still a push going on at long here. Jacob manages to get in there. Pronax somehow long range with just the P250 manages to pick up the kill, so that's a bit annoying. Now they're in a 3-on-3 and still should be their round, but this is kind of sloppy Counter-Strike out of Dignitas.
Yeah, I guess they're going for that OG style, right, where you know your opponents are pretty much hard ecoing, so go and beat up on them a bit. Problem is, if you lose Croman, he only had the UMP. You're fine with that, whatever, 1,200 bucks, it's all good. But the fact that they lost Jacob, that's a rifle that's now being handed over to Godsent to use as well. So that's a little bit more expensive. That's where Dignitas can get a little frustrated with themselves.
Twist, he's single-handedly clearing out the bomb site. Footsteps are going to be heard any second now by Rubino, who's up there if he hasn't heard them already. So there should be a rotation coming in. Certainly he'll hear the bomb plant. Bit slow, Dignitas. I thought Rubino would be maybe a bit quicker, but you can tell a lot of communication is going on actually. That little camera gives the whole game away. They've got a Molotov and a smoke still on Fox and Tensky, so they could definitely do this, but Fox is down and out. Twist with a shot, Lecro following up with a Deagle, and I guess that's it. Deagles are really all you need. Maybe you were onto something similar with the headshots being the way forward.
You get the headshots, Anders. You win the round. It's kind of freaky, especially when you have a Deagle that, you know, the hand cannon. Well, I guess it's a good thing for Dignitas. You know, they made all that money in the rounds previous to this one, so they will be able to get a buy out of here. It's going to be a bit touch and go for Rubino. He's got to stay with the CZ, but they still have 3 rifles and a UMP. That's, I don't know, man. We've had this discussion for ages, right, where teams that are hard ecoing, something just unlocks, they've got nothing to lose, and so they actually start hitting shots.
Yeah, but what's so strange is that Dignitas had Rubino pushed up towards Birthday, and then they had Jacob and Fox pushing long. So they had 3 men fighting all of Godsent over there. I mean, they should have the advantage. The fact that they didn't come out on top in that fight is just not good enough. That's definitely unacceptable. And now it's interesting. If they lose this round as well, Godsent are going to be feeling so good because they were actually in kind of a tough spot because they went, as you said, they went for that second round buy after having planted the pistols. So actually Godsent were really far behind just a minute ago. Now, I don't know, they could go either way.
We can give that to Godsent. They've been very good about getting bomb plants so far.
Yeah.
That B side has been a festival for them, just mad money all over the place. So is this, it looks like this is the time that they actually want to change it up. Pronax, the mastermind behind Godsent, the caller, looking like they want to try and apply some pressure towards this A site. 50 seconds left on the clock. And Twist, he will get pushed by Croman. So there's some info here for Dignitas at least. 2 guys outside of B site, they see it clear.
Necro gonna be sneaking around the other side. Jacob, easy enough frag there, and that's really important now. 5 versus 3. You're not really supposed to lose these, even though we've already seen that happen plenty of times today on Inferno. If you're in this kind of position, just lock it down. Make sure they have to fight to get the bomb site. Then, if you have to, retake it 5 versus 3. But it shouldn't be much of a problem here. Sees the shadow, and Croman going to go for the early spray. Even the trade is going to be just fine in this position. And Rubino holding close with the C-set. 75, a little bit aggressive here. There's only 10 seconds left, but he stops the bomb. I guess that's all he needs to do. Schneider going to be the last one left. 1 versus 4, and time has simply run out here. He's going to be going down, and Dignitas win the round right back. So now it's just a really odd start. Like, I don't even know where this is going now. The money's all over the place. Two of the Godsent players have 5,000, and the rest have barely sort of 3, even under that. So
good. Freaking force buy. just buy. You don't care at this point. You got 2 guys with the 5,000. Get those AKs in play. And then you saw what you're capable with the Digs. So look at this. 3 pistols, healthy mix, good utility, and 2 AKs to play off of here. Godsent have got to feel like they've got nothing to lose in this round. So hopefully we're going to see them bang in some headshots, and Dignitas are going to be on the ropes a little bit here, because otherwise Dignitas are going to be the one running the show.
I mean, even the kills for Godsent. 3 kills on Twist, 2 on Schneider, and then 1 on Pronax, Lecro, and Disco Doppler. And that's potentially a problem. I mean, it's early days, but you want to see them really try and step it up here. Maybe a big opening into the bomb side. It seems like it's a similar approach as the last round, where they just, you know, try for all the Molotovs, try and see if they can put them out of position. Great flashbang on Tengri, and he doesn't see a thing. He's going to go down, and Schneider turning around with a kill on Chrome, and Tengri hasn't killed anyone yet. And this time, no chance either.
What's interesting is that Dignitas are changing up how they're holding this B site. They've played a lot for the retakes so far in the beginning of this half. This time around, actually an aggressive setup from them. It kind of comes back to bite them, because Godsent, they have the man advantage now with the hold. This is a very difficult situation now for Team Dignitas to actually make work. Almost just save territory. You got 3 guys still alive. Just back off and save your guns. Drop some UMPs for your teammates in the next round.
Yeah, unless you can get like a really fast kill, it probably would make more sense. They are still kind of feeling it, but giving away a couple of rifles here, and Rubino certainly going to go down as well. So the problem is, if you really want to try and retake that, even 3 versus 4, what you should probably have is grenades, right? And they had none of them, so, you know, how are you going to defuse? Even if you turned it into a 1v1, how are you going to get that defuse? No one knows. They don't either. 3-2 here, and Godsent, really, really big round for them.
Yeah, that's going to be that confidence builder. Tengri just flashed white. That's where you're so frustrated, right? You got to kick yourself. You're like, well, I guess it isn't my round. Or rounds. Or beginning of the half. Or match. I don't know. We'll see if he wakes up.
But. Yeah, well, that's... it's got to be soon. Can't afford in a best of 1 to have anyone not fully woken up. That's always a problem.
It's important to be woke.
Yeah, it is. That's true. Well said. Praise Kang. It's Disco Doppler picking up 2 kills early on, and Jacob goes down. So I like the rush attempt from Dignitas. Didn't really work out.
No, but they're putting the pressure on. They're just hoping to not really let Godsent get too comfortable. We're tied up 3-3 now, and Dignitas will be able to get that AWP in play on Fox, and that's going to be perhaps the game changer here for him. Just because Fox on the rifle, okay, but his job is to snipe. His job is to get in there and start hitting those shots at the AWP. And there is no op on Godsent's side as well to counter him with. So, going to be real curious to see what Pronax decides to throw at the defense here. Well, you know, nobody saw that missed Molotov. Nobody saw that twist.
Just fireworks, really. Just there for the show. Keep the warmth.
Oh, how did Jacob get lit? He's down to 10-8.
He was having a fight with Lecro in Connector, I think. And it was a really deep fight, so pretty risky stuff from Jacob. Oh, all right. Twist taking down Croman. I guess that's really good news now. Potentially winnable.
That was clean. No! I thought he was going to do it again. All right, Twist making sure that we're awake over here on the B side. And that has forced a rotation. You can see the extra man. Rubino rotated down now to back his teammate up on that B site. That's just Schneider making some noise over here towards Connector. But this is a 4v4. And look at the nade advantage for Godsent. They get to do whatever they want at this point. They have an edge. In 4 players, they can crash onto a site. But they have all the nades now necessary for the execute.
They really do that. Some thorough work from Pronax. Want to make sure no one is absolutely hiding there. Now, what I'm really curious about is just the time that's left. That worries me. Under 40 seconds, and now they're towards the restrooms. This can actually get pretty bad, especially because actually Fox has got a Molotov on the A bomb site. He can win this round with 1 grenade if they don't get themselves together right now. Let's try and see if they can make it around the corner. Fox flashed out for the moment. Jacob, that's even buying more time now. 17 seconds left. And he's already put out the Molotov. Fox, a bit of a shame he didn't hold on to it. Gets the kill on Twist. Goes for another one. Misses that shot. He's going to get shot in the back now. 9 seconds left, and that's the bomb down. A huge amount of trouble here now for Godsent. Schneider's going to get the kill, but he can't do anything. There's so little time left. And it will be the round for Dignitas. That's not good enough. They needed to... You're right. They had so many grenades. They were at the playground when they had about 50 seconds. That's plenty of time. And then they just slowed it down so far that they couldn't get to the bomb site.
You have to wonder a little bit about that, whether it's the nerves that are coming in here for Godsent. would have kind of expected. I mean, these guys, they still have quite a bit of experience on the team. Schneider, Pronax in particular. I mean, everybody's kind of tasted of competition, so you should think that, hey, you have that kind of advantage. Just press it. Don't let them get time to breathe. Let Fox get that AWP in play and find a pick and mid, right? So one good thing for Team Dignitas is that they did save that AWP. Fox has got it to work with again. Not sure about his position, though. He's going to be here at Restroom, peeking right into a bunch of people. And somehow he gets out of it intact.
Such a bold peek. It works out just fine, and he even manages to escape all the way back through the restroom. So, frustrating situation for Godsent. They probably wanted to punish him for that, and they just can't catch him. Now, Jacob is here instead. Got very little backup. I would say just fall back, play with the rest.
Yep, play with Fox. You've got that off to watch you in Restroom. If they try to push you in Restroom, he's got support from the site itself, but it's just not going to happen. He's going to get a bit greedy. Well, now Fox hoping to turn this around. Minute left on the clock here for Godsent, and a trade already. Twist and Tengri going to town.
Still got the time for it. Still the 3-on-3. That's a nice pick off from Fox. Really seems to be on point with the AWP, which is a bad sign for everybody else. He even gets that kill on Disco Doblin. Schneider was actually firing at him, and he's going to be going down. It will be 5-3. The Dignitas really, I think, doing a good job, but the weird thing is just the economy for both teams is not looking good. I guess it's slightly worse for Godsent, who can't really buy in this round, but I mean, Dignitas, they have 3,400 on Chrome, and that's the most they actually just spent the last, so they've got no money at all.
It's one thing that Godsent have got going for them is that they keep getting this down to like 2 surviving players for Dignitas.
Yeah.
And you're just not going to be able to save money if you're Dignitas at that point. Somebody, in this case Croman, right, has to go for an SMG, has to cut corners. Tengri as well. He's got the UMP this round. So what you want is you want to run into Fox this round. You want to make sure you're giving $100 kills to Team Dignitas. Do not want to run into the 2 UMPs, or the 2 SMGs rather.
All right, Jacob slightly panicked. Actually make that more or less completely panicked, but it does work out, and what a flashbang to save him as well. Jacob gets a triple kill in spite of the fact that it looked like he was about to completely lose his mind there. Twist not being allowed to connect with the AWP. Pronax still making this an expensive round, so this is super important for Godsent. 3 kills in this round is massive, and now anything else is just a bonus.
This is a hard eco, Anders?
Yeah, this is outrageous for Dignitas.
So they won a round with the hard eco pretty much with Deagles. Now they've gotten 3 kills in this one here. Dignitas, this is a bit sloppy. 50 seconds left, and he will peek into Rubino. They get 1 kill with an SMG this round, Croman, and it really is Jacob who's getting $900 in his pocket. 2 rifle kills and a pistol kill for him. But those SMGs, sadly, not really getting too much into the fight. But we will have a pretty good buy coming in here for Dignitas. Good nade count, it looks like. A couple of kits picked up as well. What do Godsent have to work with here? Disco with the Galil. Why do people buy the Galil?
I was about to say, there's no good explanation for it, really. Just stop buying it. It's not worth it. I think in our little circle of matchmaking, we call it the regret buy. Because you buy it and you instantly realize, like, why am I doing this? Oh my god! Lecro says goodnight to Croman. This is something we've talked about a fair bit as well, people making that jump, you know. Before they updated the hitboxes, you could just do that all day, and ever since, it's just a big risk. That's just so good.
Why not? Shot, there we go. Clean execute onto the B site. Nice flash on Tengri. He's flash blind again. And 2 kills here for Godsent, just barreling onto the B site. That's how it's supposed to go. Twist goes down to Jacob, but that's not the end of the world here. Because Jacob can't really think about retaking 1v4, so he's going to try and look to save that gun. Can he get to wherever Fox was? Where did Fox die on the map? That would be a big save if he could actually find that AWP somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. That would certainly help them out. Especially because they have no money at all. They're saving next round. All they have is M4. Oh, and with a grenade in his hand, they know where he is.
Schneider. If you don't get this kill, Schneider, you're going to be kicking yourself so hard, man.
I was going to say, he's really worked for it. But he's surely not going to survive this. He's trapped in the corner. They're coming in from every angle. And Pronax will take care of him. That's Dignitas back to saving. And the Godsent now, I mean, they're in position to do extremely well. This is such a good shot.
Yeah, Lecro, man. That was beautiful. Always so much fun to see that shot hit in particular.
Yeah.
Wow. Sad times. Sad times.
It's a shame he's not wearing his glasses while he's playing, because he sort of looks like a Swedish hitman or something when he's got them on. I kind of like it.
I'm just wondering at this point if they fully commit to the force buy here, Dignitas. It's kind of that all or nothing sort of decision that you can make at this point. Where and it is CS:GO after all, so I mean you can try and just go for the hard invest into the round, stack a site.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't quite Inferno, where apparently now the way to win Inferno is to get 12 rounds on the T side or something like that. I just don't know what's going on, but I would say for this map, you know, if you're Dignitas, you're looking to get past 8 rounds on this first half, you know, 8 or 9 or something, and the way that this is going, that could be a really big problem. They could actually get completely crushed in this first half if Godsent win, not so much this round, but the next one. And actually, they did buy in this round.
They did do it. Fox kind of chickened out a little bit. He left 1,500 in the bank. So he could have gone for UMP and really tried to make a difference there. But yeah, they're forcing it, man. This is it. We could be looking at Godsent getting up to 6 rounds. And that really turns this into an interesting first half for Godsent if they can get that deep into it. Disco Doppelin with the AWP. Disco. I just keep on. Yeah.
What's your favorite like disco track?
It's got to be something from ABBA. I mean, I live in Sweden.
True. True.
Pretty safe bet.
Yeah. Anything from ABBA is good. It's weird how that works out.
I heard this. I don't know if it's true or not because it sounds too good to be true, right? But I heard the other day that the reason why they were wearing such flashy costumes was to get around taxes. Because the Swedish tax authority are so strict about, you know, like if you spend money on clothes, you can't wear it publicly. And so that's why they went so deep with the sequins and everything like that. So they're just like, well, yeah, obviously we're not going to wear this to a party. So clearly you could. I don't know, man. It sounds too good to me.
Fighting communism one fancy dress at a time. I like it. I love it. Pronax is going to be fighting to try and stay alive here. Almost being run over by Rubino, but he's holding his own. A good double kill here for the captain, and eventually they're going to make their way onto the B bomb site. Tengri not really able to do anything behind the sandbags. He's going to be going down as well. They only lose Lecro, and that will make it 6-5. And then Godsent again up against really nearly nothing here. Dignitas surely not going to be forcing a second time. I'm not even a fan of them doing it the first time around, but maybe that's just me.
Fox hard ecos this round. He's got that AWP in the next one, so he really shouldn't be messing around with it.
Oh.
Don't do it. Yes. Oh, wait. Hold on. I guess they were late on the timeout call?
Yeah, I think they wanted to call a timeout on the Godsent side, but they kind of messed it up. So that's on them, and that's a bit of a shame, I guess.
Mind games, maybe? Keep Dignitas guessing. Was it a timeout? Was it not? What does it mean, Anders?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Get them frustrated. I mean, they didn't really seem like they needed a timeout now anyway, because they must be able to guess that they're going to be up against pistols here. If they're keeping track of anything. Either way, they're going to know in a second, so should be a fairly clean round here. They are walking to a stacked side, but even then, I'm not going to make too much of that. I don't think it's going to matter, really.
Is that enough to throw them off here, Godsent? Now they're getting peeked from sewers. They don't have too much of the map control outside of this B site at this point. You do have Pronax kind of lurking his way towards connector, so he'll start getting a little bit more info for his teammates here in a minute. But it looks like they aren't going to wait around. Dignitas looking to take the fight to him. Jacob finds the first, but then Schneider wrecks house. And yeah, that's clean. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Just a moment of panic, but then everything sort of calms down. Now, yeah, now we do have the technical timeout. The tactical, I believe, timeout for Godsent. So, hey, it's not a bad way to take it. You've got 4 to work with in one best of one anyway, so you might as well just take a moment to breathe. Try and see if you can get past, because this is really the big round for Dignitas. You know, they had the force, that didn't work. Now they've had an eco, that didn't work. Now, if they don't win this round, it's going to be Godsent jumping from what, like 4-6 to 8-6, essentially. Like, that's just such a massive leap that you can't do anything about. You just have to be like, oh, well, I guess the first half is just done then. That's really frustrating.
Dude, I'm impressed with Jacob so far, though. 119 ADR, that's pretty.
Yeah, he's a bit of a robot like that. He's a strange player, I feel like, because he's got such raw mechanical skill that you watch him sometimes and it's just so impressive. But then he seems to be sort of the person who really needs guidance, like really needs someone to tell him when not to do stupid things.
Whoa, what was that? A messed up Molotov as well.
Yeah.
messing these up fairly often, but Fox, again with that AWP, they really do need to do everything they can to keep him with that op on Dignitas' side, because it seems like he's able to find at least a kill around with it when he has that sniper rifle, which is so important for him.
Oh,
that was close.
It was close. I almost wonder if Schneider hadn't made the jump, if he had just rushed. But he've got the angle on Fox. We'll never know. They are setting up outside of long here. Wish that they could go for one of those cool triple Na'Vi boosts. That has fallen a bit out of style, and Fox will linger around and get another kill. This is so hard to play against if you're Godsent, because you just want the control of the restroom so you can either rotate back to B if you feel like it, or at least execute with the smokes. And even though you've got the control, it's like every once in a while, he's just going to peek in and take one of your guys away, and that's part of the puzzle missing all of a sudden. It must be frustrating for the Swedish side here.
What is this aggro play from Fox? Fox, you've gotten 2 kills, now you've got a third. Godsent don't even know what's happening anymore. Kroman, he's got the perfect position, but he doesn't even need it. Jacob has got the open angle on long. Picks up the first kill, and Kroman should be picking up the next one. No, Jacob, dude, it's just Fox and Jacob round. There we go. Big work from them, and they're going to save it in the end. 7-6 now for Dignitas. They've got that map, that round lead.
Yeah, very, very well done. I mean, I'm actually a fan of Fox doing this, and there's only some players where I feel like it's warranted that you do it. Like Fallen is another one. If you're good enough, if you're aggressive, Henny maybe, something like that, you know, if you're really aggressive as an AWPer and this is, I mean, it seems weird, but this is your comfort zone, then I'm like, do it. Just, you know, try and play that way, but it can obviously backfire.
Isn't the op just like 100% confidence, basically?
Yeah.
Like, you just got to feel it the way Fallen does, the way Kenny does, or JW, right? When they're playing on their game, they are frightening. They just take risks. They know that they're going to hit the shot when the chance is there. It's impressive from Fox.
Yeah, just a real delight to see, and it's got them at least back in the lead. Attempted boost on the other side, but it's become so common that Swiss is looking for it.
Jacob actually hit that shot from Toxic. Well, okay then, Jacob.
Oh, did he?
Slick. Because that was Rubino up in rafters. So Jacob, man, that is clean. That's some awareness right there.
Not bad at all. Fox is going to be creeping in at the edge of the smoke, and again, very aggressive. He could be run down, but we'll see if they have any good grenades to get rid of him. If they just walk out with nothing, that could be dangerous. He's going to turn around for the flashbang and get the leg shot on Lekro. Grenade to follow. I think it's going to go too far to really do any damage, but he's not falling all the way back. He wants to fight them close range and almost gets the shot, but Disco Doppler going to do him one better in a 4-on-4 now with 40 seconds left.
Got the leg. Rubino's in position already. Rotation's coming up from the B site, but 2 excellent headshots. That's how it's done. Godsent clearing out that A site, and now with the 2-man advantage, are they even going to try for the retake here, Team Dignitas? They can't get to the AWP. Do they have the money in the bank to be able to buy another one? They don't. Man.
They need these rifles in the next round, which is the last round of the half, so yeah, they're just hoping for a big mistake from Godsent. Well, why would they? They've been alright, Godsent, at playing the upper front in the sense that they haven't been taking too many risks here. Schneider just going to lose his life, but Jacob, can he run far enough away? That's the problem with this A bomb side, is that you have to escape under the bomb zone, so he's fallen all the way back towards the ledge. Is it going to be quite far enough? It will be. It's really scary when you're trying to run underneath the bomb like that. 7-7 though, tying up the scoreline, moving into the 15th round. All these games today have just been really close.
Surprisingly, so I mean, there we go. The shots from Jacob.
Yeah.
That's sick. He saw it coming, man. He's like, "You guys want to keep coming towards this B side? Well, okay, then we'll be ready for you." A little bit frustrating. But we're going into the last one here. Fox not going to have the money for the AWP, as we pointed out, and so it's pretty much mano a mano. 5 AKs, a FAMAS bought by Rubino for shame. Kroman's got the right idea with the UMP.
Oh my god, the pre-fire or the blind spray coming out of Schneider. That's just frustrating for Kroman, because that was actually just a really good flashbang, but
that was perfectly timed, wasn't it? That's all you're thinking, like Kroman's hitting that timing perfect. Turns out it's predictable. Schneider, he was ready. Thing is, Anders, I gotta ask you a serious question. This is gonna be a little bit of down period here. Would you have been Punk or Disco back in the day? Because, you know, it was either one or the other, right?
Listen, I mean, Punk had they had cool accessories and everything, but Disco had rollerblades. That is way cool. That's way cool.
Good answer. All right.
There's no doubt, like, rollerblades just win 100% of the time.
Rollerblades in the lights.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you form those lines, people dance in them lights. That's so cool. I wish I was there. Wish you could recreate that moment. Tengri will be going down. This has just not been his half at all. He's really been struggling on this B-bomb side. And Godsent, you know, massive lead, 5 versus 2, and yet they're really composed. They've got the time, and they're not making any mistakes here. So this is the sort of stuff you really want to see out of Godsent at this point in time. Just don't screw anything up in this kind of with this kind of an advantage, and actually try to close the game. We can make for an allowance there, unless Jacob's going to 1v5 them.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen it happen in the past, Anders. But today, Pronex has got the off angle on him as well. If he comes around that corner,
yeah, it's just too much, isn't it?
What? How does he get that shot on Pronex? All right.
Yeah, with 4 bullets left as well, so could have gone wrong. But either way, interesting first half here. Really a lot of back and forth, and Jacob is reaching for it, and it won't work. 8-7 in favor of Godsent. And I think that's just a terrific first half. I think they're going to be very happy with that, especially the way that it started. That was slightly weird. So, yeah, I think they're going to be in a good position here.
It should be, right? Because this is going to play off of what the analysts were commentating on before this match even started. You know, Dignitas, fairly new roster, not a whole lot of experience together quite yet as a unit. And so will they have that polished T-side execute going into overpass? Because now that's where it flips. They really needed to get the lockdown on CT side, give themselves a good advantage going into the second half, because now it's all going to be about the offense.
I like the fact that they put the observer name in there. It's DJ doing the observing, and they actually got the little picture and everything. That's good. Massively, massively underrated. You guys have no idea how much, I mean, I guess some of you do, but generally speaking, it's a really underrated role, and for a number of reasons. Obviously, you guys want to catch all the cool kills and everything, but it's so hard to cast Counter-Strike if you have someone who's not good at observing. It really makes your job as a caster much harder. So, yeah, we appreciate it for sure. And Heather is here as well, obviously, which is two of, I think, the best observers that we currently have in the game. And yeah, it's good. It's really good. So I'm glad that PGL are giving them a bit of a shout-out.
Well, that PGL are flying them over from the States.
Yes, that too.
To incurring the cost.
Yeah, I think that's. I think it's well worth it. Like, it's absolutely worth it to do that in terms of how the overall sort of feel of watching a game just improves so much. 16th round is coming up here, and we do have Godsent now on the CT side. Dignitas on the T side. I think there was just a tech issue, some sort of audio. As you can see, Schneider is complaining about stuff. They've got it covered though. I'm sure they'll figure it out. What would you have picked, Disco or Punk?
I was already Punk back in high school. Pretty much.
All right. That was the cool
bad
stuff.
brains, and that was pretty much that was it.
All right.
I used to roadie for my friends' bands that I could get into the shows for free, because well, long story short, they had great, like the guys in his band, their parents were Punk at the time when it was actually Punk in LA.
When it was
like TSOL and all those and so they would be just playing at baller ass shows with like all these great Punk bands, and I was just like, if I carry your guitar, I could get into the show for free. I'll carry both of the. I'll carry all the guitar. You need help with that? Like, I'll just come in, no problem.
That's an easy trade.
That was the best, man. Those were a couple of years.
Excellent. Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
I even had a mohawk, Anders.
You even had a mohawk?
There are no photos, though.
There
are no photos. There's no photographic proof, sadly.
That's such a shame.
But yeah, it was before the selfie day.
All right. Yeah, we did miss a lot of history. I am glad, though. I feel like with the amount of mistakes that I made in my life between like the age of 12 and 20 or something, maybe even further, I'm just glad that there's like no internet record of any of that, you know? It's just a good thing.
Everybody with their smartphones these days, you have no idea. You had a phone back then, the screen was orange, the letters were black, and it was maybe like a centimeter high, right? That was your phone, you know? It was just like you call somebody with your phone. There were no cameras built into it. Oh, gotta snap that. I feel so old now.
Yeah, that happens. It does.
The game back then was Snake. Maybe Snake 2. That was when Snake 2 came out. I was like, oh.
The revolution.
It's crazy how fast smartphones have come along, man. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about getting a new one, but the problem is every time you tweet, you just get like 100 million replies and everyone saying this is by far the best home, but then like another 100 people saying the opposite. So I'm confused. I'll figure it out eventually. We do have still a technical issue being worked out, and I think they've got to restore the game. So it'll be real quick though. And ultimately, the best news is that right at the beginning of the half, right? So it's not like they were going to have a bit of a pause anyway. So it's not the end of the world here. I am curious about how this is going to play out for Dignitas. I think they're going to have a harder time, I think, trying to come up with like good ways to break through. And some of the stuff they're going to run into on the Godsent side, I think, I think some of the individual skill on Godsent is going to shine in some of these positions.
Right.
Like Lecro and Disco Doppelin and Twist even, I think are going to be pretty good at just locking down whatever positions that they're in. And then, I don't know, I'm interested. And also, the way that Fox is AWPing, that aggressive style, doesn't always translate into the CT side to the C side for some reason, because you have to sort of go and find people, and if your team isn't ready to make the opening for you, then it's not going to work as well. So I'm kind of worried about that, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
Feels like it forces a slower gameplay,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the most refined, I guess, it always comes to mind where it was like Navi and Guardian, where they'd literally be like a 4-man squad around Guardian, and then they would move as a turret and just clear the way for Guardian to find the pick. And then it was like, oh, okay, now we can execute or whatever, right? But, I mean, that requires your team to be built that way, to really play around that kind of guy. And I don't know if CS is like that structured anymore, right? Where a lot of players, they're going to be looking for those duels.
Yeah, it's been so long, I feel like, since I've been even casting a game with Guardian playing. Like, I feel like that's just been a long time. Well, maybe soon. The 16th round is coming up here. We've sorted out all of the issues, so thanks to the admins for clearing that up. If you're just joining us, then this is the second half. It's best of one. This is the 4th game of the day. We still have 4 more coming up at the PGL Major Qualifier, and all of the games are important. They all matter. There's absolutely nothing that you can miss in all of this. So many good teams that are here, and I think even more teams that have potential to upset and do weird things. I mean, Tyloo almost beat Liquid on his throw. Absolutely wild, yes. Rush into the B bomb site. Very common. The bomb is already down, and Croman going to be getting the kill on Pronax. That's a great start.
Lecro shouldn't get a chance. Yep. A little bit of an overstep there. That was by Fox. Gave him a chance, but
look at that deep smoke.
Dude, this is sick. This is pretty similar to what Godsent threw at them in their T-side pistol. Only difference is Godsent, they're hitting headshots now. We're back into a 4-on-4, but Dignitas, what is this? Now it's all the CT side, just hitting headshots left and right. Rubino dancing, but he's not going to stay alive.
This is really strange. Dignitas not able to back each other up at all. Tengri running back, he gets a headshot on one. The bomb being defused, but Lecro comes off it for a minute. Tengri getting one more kill, and now there's no time left. Tengri to save the round with a triple kill at the end. And listen, he's got overall 6 kills. 3 of them were in this round. If you want to talk about impact, like what a time to actually do something in this game. Probably also about time, but it
depends on how you word it, right?
Yes, it does.
But you're right, man. That's the high impact stuff. That's where it's like, it's so difficult. That's why it's so difficult to find the proper stat, to really say it all, right? The proper rating and all that, because, Tengri, he made up for a lot there. They pick up the pistol. They're tied up 8-8. They get to buy straight off here, Dignitas. And Fox going for a Galil instead of a UMP. Again, not really sure about that. Just because get the UMP, make the money, go towards that op. Get that op in play as fast as possible if you're Fox, I'm thinking. But what's also a concern here for Godsent is that this means that Disco is going to have to work pretty hard to be able to get that op. I mean, he is saving a little bit more money in this round. But it's still not a guarantee.
I do love the fact that Dignitas are making their way towards long at least. I think that's the preferred position if you're going to be playing against pistols. We'll see if that Deagle on Disco could do anything. He's going to realize really soon that they're not in a good position here. In fact, they're just going to get overrun. Almost no way to survive this if you're standing on the other side of this wall. Will be 2 quick kills happening. Where are the grenades coming in from Dignitas? Would have thought they would have thrown at least 1 flashbang at some point, but it was all smokes, and now the bomb is down, and they're in a terrible mess here. That's a big misstep on the Dignitas side. Tengri is going to be getting a kill, but they both go down. Listen, they had 3 men stacked at a corner. They had more people behind them. The people furthest away, all they have to do is throw 1 flashbang, and then that's it. They win the round immediately. Like, there's absolutely nothing that Godsent can do to win after that. And they just didn't. They just decided to face peek it instead, and you pop your face out like that. It's too much of a temptation for Godsent, you know?
Dude, with Electro hitting 1Ds left and right, it's like, okay then, boy, okay. That last one, man, that was clean. But, well, I guess that's just how it can work as well, Anders, you know? That's the thing. There's no guarantee. You win the pistol, you lose the pistol. It doesn't actually really matter anymore.
No, apparently not.
Because the Godsent are the ones who have got the guns, and they're the ones who are forcing Dignitas into a bit of a sticky situation here. And this is definitely not what Dignitas are looking for. Again, touching on the fact that they're still figuring out their T-side on most maps. The score is a bit too close for them to be happy about this situation.
And this round here, that's one hell of a grenade. They even have armor, and it still did that much damage to 3 people. That must just be awful if you're on the Dignitas side. Nice boost. Usually something that happens in retakes this, but he's doing it at the beginning of the round. I don't know if they're going to really recognize that. Jacob goes down. There's the bomb as well. And Disco Doblin doing a fine job here. This is really anybody's game right now. It'd be great if they could get a bomb plant, at least get the money here. Tengri trying his best. And he's going to be successful for a minute at least.
They will do. Pronax, throw away. Why is Pronax refusing? Go and find yourself an AK or something here, mate.
Yeah.
Seriously. Do not hold on to that, Galil. Don't hold on to it. There we go.
Much better. They were catching on. They were ready eventually.
Plenty of time. Go and get all the utilities, whatever you want. Upgrade your pistols. Save some Skrilla.
Save the Skrilla. Is that is what Duncan would say?
Bit of a nod to the Duncan. He's not here right now.
The Duncan.
The Duncan.
Let's not call him that. Sounds like some sort of religious figure.
Right?
You know he will start a cult one day and just, you know, it'll end badly, of course, for everybody else, not for him, but yeah. It's a bit of a shame. I think Disco Dublin's score has been reset, so if we look at the scoreboard at any point, don't worry about the fact that he has 4 kills. He doesn't really. That's just because he had to disconnect and come back in. It happens. 19th round here. 2-round lead for Team Godsent. It's not what they're called, is it?
What are you doing?
I don't know. Twist is waiting on the stairwell, and Jacobs making a lot of noise, but also hitting the headshot with a deagle. That's a remarkable shot. And Twist now, is he going to find the right timing? He's not quite sure. He's now a bit exposed, actually, but he'll get away with it. That could have backfired, I think.
Yeah, really nicely done, actually. Showing some restraint. I like it. Backs off, stays alive, and he'll be able to come in at a later time. And now he is making his play into the mid. Twist is there for the headshot on Tengri, and Lekro finds Fox. But the bomb, once again, Dignitas are getting pretty good at this, getting this bomb planted. That's one thing that they have going. So, a little bit more money going into the next round. Jeez. Okay then.
A strafing headshot, it's not bad at all. And again, at least Dignitas got the bomb plant down. That's something to work with, I believe. Plenty of money in this round, especially if they wanted the AWP on Fox. They actually could get it this time. And maybe we could see that kind of a play where they sort of use it to open with. They're not going to do it, but it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, I would still like to see that on a map like Overpass. Have him creep around and try and take a fight with someone. That could be a fun way to get started. The fact that they choose the AK instead when they hand 5900 makes me think that maybe it's going to be more of a contact play. Lurk around a bit until you run into someone and then go all in.
Yeah, look at this. 4 players already making their way towards B. There's the short Molotov going to go down to try and block any kind of aggression coming in from Godsent towards Sewers and Tengri. He will get smoked, but at the same time, there is nobody there. So eventually, once that smoke clears, Team Dignitas will be able to take their time, clear out connector, and set up for this B play.
The best thing about those face cams is that you can see when they're talking. So you get a sense, and I mean, this is the big disappointment of Counter-Strike in some ways, is that like 80% of the game is that, you know, is the communication that happens that we can never hear, and then the good news is the last 20% is still so amazing that it's worth, you know, everything, but like a lot of it is just hidden beneath the surface in all of that team play. So I'm kind of glad, even if we can't read their lips or anything, it's still kind of interesting to see who's talking and how much they're actually communicating. You can clearly see Rumino sort of saying he's ready, I'm ready, but yeah, I've got the grenades out, let's go.
Yeah.
54 seconds is where they pop everything, and now they're going to have to stop down though for a minute here. Molotov buying good time, nice play on Godsent, sign the boost coming into it. The bomb is dropped as well. Schneider hitting the headshot on Rubino and trying for a bit more. The crab spray actually working out just fine, and Tengri, there's no chance here. He's blocked in behind the box. The bomb is on the other side. They just have to wait. They literally don't have to do anything until they hear the bomb being planted.
That was so sick from Schneider. Definitely thinking he would have at least only got the one, but managing to pick up 2 kills in a hot spot like that. Tengri gonna change it up. Maybe try and turn this into a headshot fight if somebody stayed high. Doesn't have the most HP, and he has no utility either. 10 seconds left. Yeah, he's just gonna kind of run in here and hope that he's gonna... Wow!
Okay.
Nice shot, Pronax. Instant death.
Yeah, Pronax actually, he's on 15 kills, tied with Twist, and not that far away from Schneider, who's at 20. That's really well. That's well done. Because you remember, there was a time when Pronax just seemed like an anchor for this team. Like he was not in a good sense, but was just weighing them down, right? So nice if he can come back and play a bit better. I like it. I want that.
I want Pronax back, man. He needs to get back up into the top tier. Start laying waste again. Let's go. 12-8. Yeah, you can see a bit of the frustration mounting there. Dignitas calling for their tactical timeout. This is their second one. And, I mean, they have Zevez behind them as well.
Yeah.
With the coach role here for Team Dignitas. This will
another
be his
Norwegian.
chance. Exactly, his chance to actually, well, start figuring it out.
I think you get a really good sense for how disjointed the whole push becomes when that Molotov lands on short or the L-bend here in that push. Because Dignitas are outside B. They throw all the grenades and everything, and then 2 of them push in from L-bend, the other 3 through Monster Tunnel. But as soon as the guys on L-bend call in and say, oh, there's a Molotov, we can't push in, then what do the guys at Monster do? You know, they're already committed to the bomb side. Like, it just becomes such a weird fight at that point in time. Very aggressive move coming out of Schneider here in the 21st round. And if Godsent win this one, they're going to be so far ahead. Dignitas has used all their money to buy AKs and 3 smokes. That's a big problem, not having more grenades.
I love this from Dignitas, though, basically declining to take the fight. As they were both heading, there was going to be a headlong collision there for a second until all that utility started coming out from Godsent. I think that kind of ticked, that seemed a little off for Dignitas because they didn't run out into the open. They didn't try and find a duel there. So some good restraint again coming in from Dignitas.
Really, really nice move from Tengri shooting through that wall. It's one of the spots in this game that people really rarely use, and the fact is you can shoot people all the way up on the A-bomb side if you know the angle. There's so many positions there. That wall is much thinner than it seems, so definitely well worth it. Even with the AWP, I think it does like 86 or something if you shoot through that wall. So
ouch.
It's like headshot for sure, you're dead immediately.
It's like a leg shot though. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage. This is gonna be big here though. Disco, can you hit the shot? Oh, he gets unintentionally shows what she well, Croman. What 2 shots from Croman.
What a transfer. I'd love to see that second kill from his point of view. That seemed like it was very quick indeed. Lecro unable to stop the bomb from going down, and as soon as it does, you have to imagine this Dignitas winning the round. Nice shot from Lecro, and there's a rotation coming in from Pronax. If Lecro gets one more kill right now, he actually gets the spray on Tengri now. There's a chance, but Pronax can't come in with the flank, otherwise that may have been it. Good Molotov there, but they can still peek him, and indeed they will. He's going to tap the bomb once. Maybe he can make this expensive. More spray coming through. Rubino very nearly dead. And on the other side, he's going to get the kill, and now he's down and out. Croman with a good triple kill, but that's very expensive, and Godsent have the money to buy anyway, so it's worth it, I think. They made that really expensive, and if Pronax had lived, who knows?
Yeah, if Pronax has, yeah, exactly. If Pronax lives at that point. I mean, what about if Tengri gets the kill there? That was, yeah, this was unreal round here from Croman. Those 2 opening kills, but Lecro getting the kill here on Tengri next.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable. It should end with Lecro going down. A little bit of a mistake there from Tengri, allowing it to get a bit closer than it should be and a bit more expensive for his team. But they saved the AWP for Fox on Dignitas, so he has that going for him.
Double grenade right to the brain. That's gonna give you a headache, isn't it?
He's got like 2 neurons left, you know. Yeah. There you go.
See, this is how I originally tried to wallbang that wall, is because you can shoot people when they're here. Like that boost, that's why I wanted, because you remember for a while this boost was so effective, and people, exactly, this smoke makes it really hard to stop it from the other side, but you can just wallbang it from inside of the stairwell, and it's not hard to aim at all.
I would give so much for Tengri, who's walking up, to just do that wallbang right now.
Yeah, it's
how next level.
I think so. I might have the math wrong on this, but I think if you shoot at that angle, the AK bullets are still around 11 to 12 damage. That might sound like a lot, but a headshot means you just have to hit 1 or 2 headshots, and people are in a lot of trouble there. So it's still worth it even at that weird angle. Twist in the corner hiding, and his feet are on fire, and actually all of him is now. He's down and out, so 3 versus 4, and Tengri, Fox, and Rubino are left here. If they get reset now, Team Dignitas, God help them.
Yeah, it's gonna.
But not Godsent help.
Yeah, exactly. They're not gonna be much help. Oh, the lineup. Lecro manages to pick up 1. We're into a 2-on-2, but there's still a man alive on the site. That's Schneider, and Schneider hasn't missed many shots so far this match. Big kill there on the Tengri, and now it's Fox. 1v2. 20 seconds left. Gonna see if he can get that bomb plant. And he's just gonna go ahead and plant default. I like that Schneider's playing very patient here as well. He's just waiting for his teammate to get in there to back him up, and they've got a smoke on Pronax as well, so this is going to be tough for Fox. Kind of want to see him try and trade out to a rifle if he can find one.
It'd be nice if we could have both, you know, start off with the AWP, but Schneider actually crouching next to the trash bin and somehow making it work. That's a bit interesting. That's the reset, and a lot of trouble now for Dignitas. How do you come back from this? It's 13-9. You don't really have the money. You just won around, and now you're back to losing. This isn't good.
Kind of wonder. There's a bit of talk going on over there. It looks like we had the other team voting for a timeout.
That's Godsent.
Godsent going for the timeout now. I guess because Macioso is doing a bit of talking behind him.
Yes, this is something that we've started to see recently. Especially a team that's been doing it so much is obviously Astralis. They win like a big clutch, then they pause to get everyone to. I mean. We talked about this a bit, Henry and I, and it was, you know, this whole idea that you get all the adrenaline pumping in your blood, and then you sort of want to, you know, for everyone to calm down. That was Henry's approach. I think that makes sense.
Definitely.
Something that we should probably investigate more. Someone send the journalists to interview the players.
Go find out. Talk to Glaive. Like, Glaive, is this it? And now he's actually just going to be like, actually, no, we're just messing with him.
Yeah. Doing it for the lols.
But that's got a strong point to it, because when you have that adrenaline in you, it's, you know, it's hard to get that focus going back where you can calm down and actually think through.
Yeah, and you don't want to go on that sort of like really high, and then you get upset and you lose, and you go on a big low, and everyone's like, oh no, but everything was going so well. So yeah, I think it makes sense.
I think the Brits onto something.
Yeah. It's rare, but it happens. Fox goes down. I was going to say Disco Dublin. That's a really bold position to be in, but they didn't really overpower him, so now he's surely going to be checking for this advanced position, although he's weirdly boxed in. Backup is coming. Twist goes down, so not from that angle, I suppose. And Jacob, we said, really good with the mechanical aim, going to be taking down Disco Dublin. Not like this.
Yeah.
Godsent, not like this.
Another hard eco, basically, with the Eagles. And this is where it can get fun. Smoke goes down, completely ineffective. That's a bit interesting, and that opens it up for Jacob to get another shot. Schneider is down. That's right. He just dumped him down the toilet. Just perfect timing.
It really is. Timing. Listen, I'm gonna call hacks on that one.
No, you went full Austin Powers there, man.
The Deagle does not work like that when I use it. There's no way you can spam that second bullet and hit a shot. It's I don't know.
And it's, you realize like that scene in Austin Powers is probably like 3 minutes of my favorite movie making ever.
Why am I not surprised?
Who does Mr. 2 work for? That's right, you tell that Turner's boss.
Oh my god.
So good.
Pronax getting the clutch in eventually, as he should. He was in a good position on the bomb side. A triple kill again. Pronax stepping it up massively. And Godsent winning the round, which they should have from the beginning.
Yeah.
But they were straying a bit far from the target then. Dignitas, I mean, in spite of that, Dignitas just actually made it possible for them to come back into the game, because 2 people survive on Godsent. That means they have to spend quite a bit of money in this round. And Dignitas can buy, so if they just win this round, then really only Disco Dublin and... No, not even Pronax.
No, dude, these guys are broke.
Wow, they're even more broke than I thought.
It's going to be big. This is it. And the countdown is over, 14-9, and we're getting into the thick of things. Pronax goes for that FAMAS again, questionable, but okay. And they're just spending all of their money now here. Both teams. And this would be a very interesting call coming in here, actually, from Dignitas. If they wanted to go for a very quick execute onto the B site, they haven't really tried that too often. Within like the first, 30 seconds of the round, just get in there fast. Not a full-on rush, but just staggered. And here we go, Krumman taking point. This might catch Godsent off guard.
They should know, because this Godob is so far pushed up, but they haven't really adjusted to it yet. Lekro gets a kill, but Pronax is going to go down immediately, and that's a really forward position. It probably would have caught Jacob off guard, but then Fox peeks from the other angle, and he can't do anything to get back. There is still a flank, as we're seeing that picture-in-picture. Is great stuff. Disco Doblin, if he can pick up a frag, they can maybe try for the retake, and there it is. Fox going to be going down. Now they have to be quick about it, though. 3-on-3 for the retake. The Molotovs are already raining in, and Jacob so far back. It's such a strong position here. I'm not sure this is going to work out too well for the Godsent team, but Twist did get a kill. Tengri picking up a headshot, and Schneider, no chance really. Has to just fall back here. That's big now. 10 rounds for Dignitas. The money's been reset for Godsent. All they have is the AWP. This game is suddenly a bit more interesting.
Did we miss a memo, Andrews? Like, did an email go out to everybody today? By the way, guys, every map has to be 30 rounds or overtime. So we've had 2 overtimes and a 30-rounder so far today. So,
Valve match fixing.
Yeah, let's go. 14-10. At Dignitas, I mean, now they have control of the economy. If Godsent were to lose this round, they've gone for the force buy here. But it's just going to get more and more difficult, allowing for Dignitas to keep closing the distance here. And Dignitas, they have changed it up. This time it's passive over towards B. Instead it's going to be action top of mid, and Disco Doppelin, he's in here with that FAMAS. He's looking to find a shot. He's going to get it. Crowman is gone, but that's all he gets. 1-for-1 trade, and this definitely favors Dignitas.
Bit of a shame that nobody from Godsent can go and pick up any of these guns. And if Jacob is smart about it, he's going to try and throw them over the edge somewhere. Get that AK out of there, get the FAMAS away so that no one can rotate in. Still 3-on-4, but I don't think he has, so I'm going to make a mental note of that from Jacob. I think he could have definitely done it. Now instead, Pronax going to be putting up a smoke. He will land behind them. And you know where he is. Some damage being put in, some team damage as well. Pronax does eventually go down, and so will Necro. That could have gone out of control.
What's going on here? That's insane. I definitely think the Pronax, especially because he threw that smoke out, they knew exactly where he is. The fact that he survives that long is unreal. Shot, maybe. Looking for the wall bang. That would have been brutal. Instead, it's going to be Twist getting instantly hit. Wow.
With the AK that Jacob didn't throw away.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't want to be that guy that told you so guy, but I am.
You keep needling him. Keep it up.
Well, regardless, it looks like Godsent, that would obviously be the ultimate, karma coming back. But they'll save the AK, they'll save the AWP. Pretty good job on Godsent here. Dignitas winning the round. Snyder, are you gonna wait for it? I was hoping he'd go for a wall bang. Either way, takes down Jacob, and Rubino explodes with the bomb. So I think they got really almost max out of this round that they really could. 14-11, and Dignitas, they win the round, and they have to expend their whole bank just to rebuy here, including limited grenades on at least a couple of players. That's definitely disappointing.
I'll buy a grill.
Don't do it.
He just goes for the AK and flash. Okay. Doesn't want to get the utility. They're a little light on the nades, to be fair here. Dignitas, 3 guys. Pretty much only 2 flashes between 3 guys. It's not a whole lot. Whereas Godsent, they have gone for the eco Anders. They're going to be playing off that AWP and that AK. The rest of the team have hardly invested anything at all here in this round, so I like to see that. Godsent want to snuff Dignitas' hopes next round.
We'll see. There's still a chance that that AK could be the Karma AK that comes back to haunt them. It's got the kill there on Rubino. This is what happens, Samler. You don't follow the rules. Don't do as you're supposed to. Jacob trying to see if he can push out Schneider there with the AWP, but now they're rushing in. Croman gets a kill. Tengri with the refrag as well. Absolutely amazing. And again, two AKs left here for Godsent, but Dignitas making the right call. And they should save these. I mean, they're going to have money next round, Godsent, but why not have a bit more?
So why not have the AKs?
Yeah.
You get that one-shot headshot in there, and you're going to be seeing pretty sad Dignitas. There's the headshot coming in from Twist. Speak of the devil. Roman, he's pinned on the site, and he is very low. He could get that, if he can get the pre-fire into bank, it's possible.
This Squadron actually just picked up a defuse kit as well. Picking up the AWP instead, and not hitting the shot. And that's going to be the retreat being called here for Twist. Has to fall back eventually, so They make it a bit expensive, but Dignitas, I think that was a good call eventually. Like, not too much messing around, which people tend to do, especially you lose Twist right at the beginning of the round.
Yeah.
And Twist gets a kill right at the beginning of the round on Rubino, I believe. Then that's usually when people slow it way down. So Dignitas just thought, nope, we're just gonna go for it.
It's just a shame that that flash was on Schneider.
Yeah.
Because he had the AWP, so he's holding an angle, but he's also the only one with the flash. Imagine a flash in that take. If Team Dignitas are getting anti-flashed as they run in, then all of a sudden those pistols, you can really get the value out of them. Because he was trying to make it work with that AWP. They weren't really able to get that flash in there, which can really turn the tide. Unfortunately for Godsent, and unfortunately for Schneider, he wasn't able to hit that shot. They do save his AWP though. So it looks like he'll be the one using it, not the disco. And we have the op and play on Fox, so let's see.
Flashbangs all over the place in the beginning. So Godsent have been very aggressive, and you can sort of tell that Dignitas are really worried now. Like, they're spending a lot more grenades in this area of the map just to clear it out. So that's like a little bonus for the CT side when they've already done it a couple of times. It forces the Ts to just have to do it almost every round since. And because they don't have an infinite amount of money on the Dignitas side, they need those grenades later on when it comes to the afterplant scenario. So it really makes a difference. It's not just, you know, for the fun of it. It actually has an impact on the game later on. But at least Dignitas have cleared out this part of the map, and you can tell they sort of want to rotate back to the B-bomb side. That might not be such a bad idea. Pronax and Lekro are holding really far back. Especially Pronax is going to have a hard time helping out once the smoke starts to land. Actually, are they just going in naked through the monster? Yeah, they're not even signaling this. Man, this is going to be quick.
Yeah, they're looking for that explosive play. Rubino with the mollies. They cleared out 2 positions so far. Pronax holding passive by CT, but this is all on Lekro, I feel. And he does get Tensky for free. Does he get shot in the back, though? And yes, he does. Rubino and Croman teaming up, and Jacob taking the fight to him. No time wasted. That was explosive from Team Dignitas, and that's exactly what they needed to do here. They're so good at getting the bomb planted, Anders. They just keep getting plants round after round here. So that Dignitas, they have that going for them.
It's a really, really good call. If you are on the B-bomb side, on the CT side, then what you really want is for them to stand far back and throw grenades. So you can look in the sky and say, oh, hey guys, they're coming B. Let's everyone get ready. Then you throw out some counter grenades and slow them down. And then, you know, by the time they actually attack, your teammates will be there and it's all good. But because they went so slow through the mud tunnel without any flashbangs or anything, by the time Godsent were on the radio saying, I think it's, oh shit, it's B. You know, like, it's so quick that you can't even do anything about it. It's actually really hard to play against. And that's also a setup. It's not a problem. It's just a risk that you take when you're holding that far back. Imagine if you were further up and you were sort of, you know, looking through the monster tunnel a little bit. People play on that B ramp quite a lot. We saw Tensky do that all the time in the first half. If you're there, then you see it coming and you can actually inform your teammates. But I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. It's just that when those two tactics collide, it really is unfortunate for the CT side. So 28th round is coming up here, and again, you said it, it's just the flavor of the day, I guess.
They're following the memo, man, to the letter. Yeah. This is it. We're going to get a 30-rounder here.
I mean, this is the best thing you could possibly want, I think. In terms of, the whole point of having a qualifier is surely to determine, you know, which teams are the best to make it to the main event, and they are really being tested hard, all of them right now in the first 4 games. So that's really interesting. And it
sucks for Lekro. Looked like he had that shot.
Yeah. And he's been really lethal with the deal. I think the first time we saw him have like a real breakthrough game was what, DreamHack Masters Malmo, when he really did a fantastic job. So
he was scary.
Yeah.
It's the FPL, you know.
The FPL.
All that FPL. But I mean, that's where they found him, and he's certainly been doing work ever since. Rubino, though, with the headshot. That's right. You're after his lucky charms. And Disco Doppelin, he's still got that AWP. Where is he actually posted up with it, though? He is on the A side. But Rubino's killed 2 players from over on the B side. Lekro will eventually find a kill on Jacob, and it looks like they will be the rotation over towards that B site now for Dignitas.
Very hard for them to do anything about it. Smoke should be landing here in front of Disco Doplin's face any second now. There's no reason why they'd push in without it. They do have one on Croman, so surely someone can throw that in. Instead, it's going to be on the bomb side. So he actually has an opening here. Fox goes down as well, and now it's a 2-1-2. The bomb is down, yes, but what is happening here? Godsent being allowed to get back into this round. And Lekro, he's already got a double kill. He's looking for a bit more. They don't have a... Well, they actually have a kit on Disco Doblin, though he can't really easily get it to the site. You can see some trouble here. Lekro going down. Flashbang. His own as well, right in his face, and Croman ends up with a double kill. That was way too close. That could have gone horribly for Dignitas.
You know that subreddit called Hold My Beer?
Yes.
I feel like that's Disco just had a Hold My Beer moment.
Yeah.
He's like, check this out, guys. It's going to be super sick. I'm going to flash him with it. All of a sudden.
Someone be sure and film it. You can put it on the internet later. It'll be hilarious.
We just got to tell him nobody saw that, man. Nobody saw it. He's going to be like, but how did you know then? Yeah, nice hold from Croman as well. Gets the man on short.
He just dodges it so effortlessly as well. He's like, oh, it's a cute little flashback you got there.
Another kill for me. Croman had a pretty slow first half as well, so he's going to be feeling good about getting some kills here.
He's making up for it. Pretty much on par with the rest of his team at this point, so that's good news. And Tengri is making up for it. I mean, when you start out the match having like 0 kills the first 5 or 6 rounds, you end up at 13, still at bottom of the scoreboard right now, but that doesn't really matter. He's like almost tied up with the rest, so that's perfectly fine. 14-14. We are very near the edge, but Godsent at least have money to buy. Dignitas going for what seems like a B execute. Running through the tunnel, being sprayed down by Pronax. 3 big kills coming in, and that should pretty much seal it. Tengri and Fox, they're just wondering how did it go so badly. A quad kill for Pronax here. What a champion, and just the perfect timing. Up to 23.
And he even gave us the smile. See, I mean, the spray down is good and all, but the smile is what I'm after there. Warms your heart.
Classic cheeky Pronax grin.
And how about a kick in the pants for Dignitas? Like, you know what, guys? We haven't done a B rush, so let's just do it and see. Maybe we'll catch him out of position. Pronax is just like, actually, I'm going to be in the perfect spot to hard counter you. Not flashed, M4A4, 30 bullets.
And that was the position that we just talked about earlier, that, you know, instead of holding far back, like he was earlier when he was way, way back towards the wall, now a little bit further up, and the timing was just very good. Tengri moving in, he gets shot down by Twist. And they realize there's a couple of people behind them here. Croman almost flashed to death then, but he actually picks up a double kill in return. That is just madness.
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Snyder getting caught with a grenade in his hand.
Who actually threw that flashbang? Was that Croman's teammate? I really wish we could see that again, because I don't think anyone from Godsent was throwing any grenades there, unless it was from the A-bomb side. So maybe he got team flashed and almost died, and then got a double kill anyway. Lekra with a refrag. The bomb down on Fox. And as we sort of talked about Fox and his ability to get kills in the second half with the AWP, he's really been zoned out a lot. Disco Doblin sees a shoulder and takes down Croman instead, and Lekra with a headshot on Jacob. Man, Team Dignitas, they brought it so close, but it's not enough. Disco Doblin to close out the game 16-14 in favor of Godsent. And with Lekra actually top fragging at 26 kills. What a game that was.
What a game, Anders. That is it. Again, the 30 rounds. It's pretty much all according to the rules here. That's what needs to happen.
Yes.
But that was impressive. And for them to keep it cool towards the end there in the last round as well. You're down a man. It's all falling apart for you in Connector. And yet you're still able to find your picks. Just whittle Dignitas down 1 kill at a time.
Yeah, really, really interesting. And obviously heartbreaking for Dignitas. They were hoping that they could probably just turn one more round, and that would have been it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, right? Overtime, and maybe you start to catch Godsent getting nervous, and things can turn around for you, especially because you really don't have much to lose, I think, if you're Dignitas coming into this tournament in that sense, right? You really should be fighting without any nerves. You should just kind of roll in here and just look to do your best. They have the firepower on the team. They have the firepower to do that.
Yes.
So
yeah, it was just an interesting game, I think, and Godsent certainly weren't looking flawless at all, but they still have that firepower, and that makes them kind of lethal. I wonder what the panelists think. They are ready. Paul, are you ready as well?
Born ready, Anders. Born ready. Thank you very much for commentary, of course. Great to have you pair back as a pair as we head towards the major, of course. And Game 4 is done and dusted. We've gone all the way yet again. 30 rounds. No overtime this time, however. And Godsent have squeaked by Dignitas. Very close game. We've got Yanko and Natu back with us. Natu, we'll start with you. It is a tight victory, but it's a victory nonetheless. I guess either team would have been happy with the 16-14 win if you offered it to them before the match.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't end up going the way I think I agreed with Yanko. You know, one team could easily just run away with it on the city side instead, and it became back and forth kind of a battle. It's 7.5. Maybe Godsent was just that little bit better. They had a little bit more structure in their play, both sides having the idea on the CT side how to progressively slow down their opposition, making them waste more nades and stuff like that, basically giving them less options. And yeah, just going on top of a lot of the tight situations. Snyder being a massive part of the win for me, showing similar kind of one-man army plays as we saw from Elise previously, where in high pressure situations he's capable of getting multi-kills where you don't even expect him to get more than one. So yeah, overall I think they were just that a little bit better.
Yeah, and in some like mid-round situation you can see that Godsent just have more poise, and I think that's where maybe the experience of Pronex also comes into play. The very last round of the game, Dignitas has a 4v3 situation on the T side, and that completely falls apart, and Godsent ends up winning the round without losing a single player. At that point you need to have the presence of mind to say, okay guys, let's just hold, not let them refrag, not let them, you know, equalize the numbers while we figure out how we want to finish the round. Instead, what happens, they just kept falling down one by one, and the round completely slipped away from their hands.
Yeah, I mean, one great example there, I think it's a 4-3 or 3-3 situation. They go B, and they have a smoke in hand, which they should have thrown for Heaven and B, right? Which would have blocked off the operator. This good upline was there. Instead, they go in dry, and it kind of crumbles. So, I mean, in a lot of those small situations where you kind of stop things, and then you think of how do we approach, what kind of utility do we have left, and then make a decision. Instead, they kind of just went for it in a lot of those situations.
Also in some of the executes, for example, this round that you see right now, obviously towards the very end of the game, Dignitas just decides to go for a full-on B execute, but there's no correct pop flash from Pronex. I mean, he should never be able to, from that position, get a triple kill in Monster and then an extra kill on short. When Godsent was on the T side, you actually saw a very, very good B execute on their part. It really reminded me of something that Astralis likes to run. I saw them, you know, tweet out that I think it was Zonic and Dupree, how that was a pretty interesting like B execute on.
Wonder where they got that from.
So I mean, that's props to them. Why not copy the best if that was indeed the case? You know, if someone's doing it the right way.
Yeah.
No reason why not to do it yourself.
Yep, steal it, improve it. MVP in this particular game was one of the old hands, Schneider. He's had a decent game this time around.
Yeah, he has been the leader performer here for Godsent. He's a very interesting player because in all of these lineups, he was never like the main focus. It was always like, yeah, this lineup has Twist and Lecro and Pronex the in-game leader, and you know, and Schneider is there as well. mostly referred to as the guy who's been there from the very beginning of CSGO, part of that Fnatic lineup that won the first major as well, but someone who, after he got removed from that Fnatic roster, couldn't really find his way back into the like top tier scene, and still he's trying to do so this time with the Godsent lineup, but every now and then he has a very, very strong performance like this one.
There's a strong team performance as well now. So when you look down the list, Schneider 25 for 18, 24 on Lecco, 23 on Pronex, 21 on Twist. Other than Disco Doppler, who was Orpin, he had 15 for 21. That's a solid team performance all round, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you need that for sure. Going the stretch in the tournament like this, it cannot be down to a single player or two players bringing the numbers. It means that you'll have all five firing, and therefore obviously easier for everyone to be able to take victories. But again, I mean, it's still, I think, Godsent overall just showcasing they have more depth and, just like Janko was saying, better at mid-round situations. Yep. But then you need to have the addition of everyone chiming in individually as well to be able to have any chance of being competitive.
All right, let's find out from the MVP himself. Schneider joins us now from the player area. Thanks for joining us, Schneider, and congrats. Good game, I guess.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good game? Not a good game? I don't know. I mean, it's tough, isn't it, when it's 16-14, because you come out of that thinking, probably should have done better. But a win's a win here, right?
Yeah, a win is always a win. I mean, 16-14. I think we had a really short time to prepare for this this map. I think it came as a surprise for us.
No.
I think we found out through the prac group or something yesterday, so I'm happy we won.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. When you looked at the draw, though, did you think, Dignitas, probably quite a good time to play these guys? They're still kind of adapting to each other. They're playing in English for the first time. Rubino's calling. Did you feel like maybe this is a team we could beat? It's a good first game for us?
Yeah, we were really happy to get that draw. Obviously, there's harder teams here. No offense to them. Of course, they're a great team. But we also wanted the revenge since ECS, I think, when they beat us 2-0 when we had a lot of problems in our team. So we really wanted to show, but they were really strong. Obviously, we haven't practiced a lot on overpass. We stole one round from Astralis on YouTube 15 minutes before the game. And it worked wonders.
Perfect.
But,
Called it. I love it. Nice of you to admit. Nice of you to admit. I mean, I like that. It's steal good ideas and make them better, right? It's all part of the game.
That round worked out perfectly.
It did work out perfectly.
It worked 3 times or something.
We haven't seen an awful lot of you guys since the last major, just a few tournaments along the way, and what we have seen, you haven't performed that well. It's been very difficult for us as a team of people to assess where you are. Where would you put yourselves right now? Are you confident of qualifying? Obviously, your aim is to do that, but is the team gelled enough, and what are the issues that you're trying to fight with right now?
So, like, in a long time, we had a certain team, a few teams trying to poach our players, and I think one of them wanted to leave in our team. So we didn't really, I don't think we had the right mindset for a long time, but now I think we actually solved like most of it. At least we can like come here and be 100% prepared. So I'm not gonna say anything bad now, but yeah, I'm just happy that but like result-wise here, we obviously want to qualify, but it's probably gonna be a rocky road somehow.
Okay. All right, I've got Janko and Natu here. I'm sure they've got a few questions for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, the question on everyone's lips right now has to be, how's Graham doing? What's the Messioso effect right now?
He's very smart, first of all, analytical-wise, and the main thing that he helps us is because we're a bunch of kids, me too. So he helps, obviously, to bring a lot of structure, and that's been missing. Like if we failed practices after practice, we would just let's end the day. But Graham is there, like shut up, shut up, guys. Stay on the server and work it out, and that helped the most, I think.
That's good. It's good to hear. Graham will tell you, he might not admit this, but we play together a little bit now and again.
Yeah, he told some bad things, but I'm not going to say it live.
That's fine. I mean, he can tell anything he likes, right? Just don't take any of it as truth, right, Schneider? You and me, we're good buddies, right?
Yeah,
but I'll tell you this. Rush B was our strat, and he's stolen that. I saw you guys round 1 in pistols. That's a plow strat.
Yeah, that's the Graham strat, man. He's nuts.
See, I knew it was all going to come to fruition. Any other questions, Janko?
Yeah, I was wondering, like we were talking about it here, that you have been in the scene from the very start, right? The member of that Fnatic lineup who won the first major and all of that, and then after after they made the initial change, you kind of disappeared. You tried a couple of times the old Dignitas lineup, right? A short stint here and there, but you couldn't really mount a full comeback. And now you're with Godsent. How do you feel like individually, personally? Where do you think you're at?
Well, first of all, like the after Fnatic time was a lot of personal problems for me for many years until last year. But like right now, I feel I'm probably the worst in the team right now. But obviously, I've been really good in the first Godsent and the Godsent with JW and Flusha. I know that. But right now, I don't know. My team is really strong. You should watch out for Doppler right now because he's nuts.
Okay, cool.
All right, good stuff. Thank you very much for joining us, Schneider. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. And congrats on the first game. Good luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you.
There we go then. So, game number 1 win for Godsent. 16-14 win over Dignitas. We haven't really spoken too much about Dignitas. Obviously, plenty of opportunities for them still in this tournament. They can be a dangerous team if they get the right map, can't they?
Yeah, I mean, so far you can tell they're keeping their playstyle very simple. It's a lot about wolfpacking, sending 3 people to one part of the map and 2 others playing on the opposite side of the map, or just straight up hitting a bomb site. I just want to see a bit more from them being able to pick up the pace sometimes, slow it down, have a bit of variety in the way they play. Because I mean, unless you are god tier in terms of skill level, someone like FaZe, for example, could manage to pull that off in Katowice, playing very simplistically, just because of how much individual skill they have and how they can play off of each other in situational play. So I think they need to up their game when it comes to just a tactical approach.
Yeah, I agree. And I think those flaws are not something you can overcome over a span of a tournament. It's going to come down to whether they can, outclass that with some individual performance. Because we saw even from their own player, like Jacob had a great game. Fox continues to be consistent in his performance with the AWP. So depending on the opposition and on the maps, if they get a little bit lucky, they still have a good chance of going through and upsetting at least a couple of teams.
Next up, it is time to move on to our 5th game of the day. This next one's going to be very interesting for all of us here. It features one team who played at the E-League Major but disappointed majorly for their fans, and a team who have never played in a major before, having finished 2nd in the CIS region. We'll be back very shortly with Mouse versus Tengri.
Coming up next, Mouse versus Tengri.
E-Gaming Bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Grab your gear and let's go.
With the Strafe Esports app, follow your favorite teams and players, and you'll never miss a match again. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.
Oh, crap.
Exclusive Black Equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes.
The PGL Major Krakow 2017 is more than an event. It is the culmination of months of hard work, discipline, determination, courage, and talent. 16 teams from around the world will travel to Poland this July to compete in a one-of-a-kind LAN event that will deliver to the world CSGO like they've never seen before. Defending champions Astralis and the 7 other legends who made it to the playoff of the E-League Major in January will be joined by 8 other squads forged from the fires of the PGL 2017 Krakow CSGO Minor Championship Series. The road to get to the Torin Arena, which will host the PGL Major Main Event, is one filled with challenges for young teams looking to prove themselves. With the online part behind them, aspiring teams headed at the turn of the summer into a pivotal stage of the qualifying process ahead of the PGL Major, the Minors, tournaments that took place in the Americas, Asia, Europe, and the Commonwealth of Independent States. Let's take a look at the 4 events that took place during the first 3 weeks of June, which handed out a total of 9 spots for the Major's offline qualifier. Eight teams headed to Beijing between the 1st and the 4th of June to compete in the PGL Asia Minor Championship. Renegades and Tyloo earned a direct invitation, while their 6 tournament colleagues had to go through online qualifiers and beat a competition of hundreds of other teams hungry for success. 2 Thai teams, Signature Gaming and 7642, made it out of the SCA qualifier, a first for their country. Spotnet represented the Middle East. Immunity were looking to enforce the Australian hold on the minor, while the Mongols returned for another chance to play their particular kind of CSGO. Flash Gaming finished off the list of 8 participants, having won the Chinese qualifier. One of the most exciting prospects of the minor was that former Tyloo trio Fancy, Attacker, and Karsa made their offline debut with their new lineup, Flash, in an attempt to snatch one of the main qualifier spots for themselves. Flash Gaming would go on to deliver one of the tournament's upsets by defeating Renegades to take the first seed in their group. With Signature and Spotnet battling among themselves, but not achieving much, it would be Flash and Renegades that would make it out of Group A. In Group B, Tyloo easily took care of 7642, while Immunity needed almost the full 30 rounds to take down Mongols. Tyloo then defeated Immunity 16-4 to take first seed in the group. 7642 fell 0-2 to Mongols in the losers match, but Immunity defeated Mongols again in the decider match and moved on to the final 4. At this point, the Chinese teams looked ready to take both spots away from the Australians. But although Flash Gaming provided an amazing performance during the group stage, they failed to convert it into a meaningful act during the playoffs, losing to both Immunity and Tyloo. Renegades managed to outdo their opponents and win every match of the playoffs, securing their position at the upcoming offline qualifier for the PGL Major in Krakow. The biggest challengers proved to be Tyloo, who almost beat the Aussies twice, as well as Immunity in the semifinals.
But we're looking to change that this year.
Renegades met Tyloo once again in the Asia Minor Finals.
如果我们晋级了 Minor 线下总决赛的话，我觉得我们应该会去欧洲先集训。
About Rops, like this new young player. I mean, we've seen so many exciting young players kind of emerge out of nowhere, and this guy has an especially unique story. Where coming up through the online, very publicized as a streamer that people thought, you know, he could be cheating. He's like, something's not right, something's not legit. He's just that good that even pros are really questioning his play. And he's putting all those to silence now. He's shutting them all up, and then just one more thing to see how he's going to build on now under even more pressure trying to qualify for the major.
Yeah, I like the fact that we're getting more of these players coming out from nowhere. It's what we should be seeing, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think it also shows the value of, you know, those ladder systems, like the pug systems that we have. You know, Oscar, even another member of the Mousesports lineup, that's the way he got into the scene originally with Hellraisers as well. So it just gives you an easier way to spot talent, to spot someone who you can give a chance now. Whether they're going to, you know, take advantage of that or not is yet to be seen.
In terms of results, I was looking at the results before we headed down here. It's not that bad for Mouse when you think about it. Almost they escape attention, I think, sometimes. I think since Nico moved on, it seems like the focus maybe hasn't been quite so much on them. On what is now, after all, a very international side, and they've taken the kind of route that Penta have as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a team that I think you just nailed it perfectly. Is when they lost Nico, no one expected anything out of them. Everyone was just kind of like, oh, well, this team's over. No point in paying attention to them or bothering with them moving forward. And they had that great online ESL Pro League season, and again, it's online Counter-Strike, so it's kind of like, all right, well, they're doing well online, we'll see how they do on LAN. And then ever since they've picked up ROPS, and ever since they've had some of these moves, Oscar's been playing so great. Dennis has stepped up massively in that void that Nico left. Chris J's been playing phenomenal. It just seems like everyone's kind of raised the bar, and that's got everyone paying attention to him again. That's got everyone excited once more.
Yeah, it's almost fired up some of the old boys in the team as well, isn't it? Result-wise, on paper, you look at it and go, well, 5th, 6th at ESL Pro League Finals isn't that good, but quality opposition, right? We're not talking about, an online carp or just something they managed to scrape into. That's a decent result for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they managed to get to the playoffs, the quarterfinals, basically in that tournament. Then they lost to SK. I mean, in a best of 3, which is nothing to be ashamed of, especially now SK back in top form. And I think that's the story for Mousesports at the moment. They have been improving constantly. They are probably one of the best teams here. They're still not on the level where they can compete with the likes of SK, FaZe, Astralis,
but
through a course of a best of 3 series.
But potential for being a top 10 team, though.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, the cool thing is that with these guys, it's not just the quality of opposition at some of these tournaments where they haven't placed well. It's also just the quality of their play itself has raised, and it's very obvious and evident watching them that it has. And then the next step is if this ROPS guy really turns out to be as good as his potential shows, then this is a team that will be competing for some of these tournament titles down the line. Like if he can actually, that's going to bring them to the next level if he can do that.
Yeah, and people are starting to already talk about him as the new Nico, so it's
Let's
already
calm down.
Yeah, it's a fairly big comparison. Right, but let's just rein it back in. Let's move on to Tengri. It's a very interesting team, this. We know very little about them, of course. They've come second in the CIS minor. They've won a number of online cups, Log Cup recently. The only notable, really, performance, and it's not really that notable, is 6th in the ECS Development League of Season 3, which is nothing to shout about at all if you're going to compete for a place at the Major. So they would look like, on paper, they're horribly out of place here in terms of the quality of opposition. And we've got 3 Kazakhstanis, 2 Kyrgyzstan players in this team, not always known for their brilliance in Counter-Strike. So everything seems to be stacked against them, but they're here. They've done what they needed to do to qualify.
Yeah, that was a surprise in itself. So now we have to see what more can they show, right? This is a team who was full Kazakhstanian a couple of months ago. Then they made the change, brought 2 Kyrgyzstani players. And this is the team from which Hobbit actually came to Gambit. So he was a member of that team way back. It was Mo as well. So there is talent on the team. Ramzek is the main player, if you guys were looking out for HLTV.org. They also featured him in that Players to Watch piece. He's the main opera of the team. So obviously a player who can have a lot of impact on the game.
And you only have a name Pachenga if you're going to be like a real badass in the server. Like that's the name you pick if you're just going to be amazing. That's definitely it. That's my guy to watch. But also, we saw with teams like this, I mean, at the last major qualifier as well, I mean, yeah, maybe you're not going to necessarily qualify, maybe like the bars instead of getting to the major, but play spoiler, knock someone out, be the, like we saw Vega Squadron with NIP, like be that team that gets your name on the map by just knocking out one of the favorites. That's now the era of Counter-Strike that we're in, is where in these BO1s, I mean, it's really not even hyperbole to say that anyone can beat anyone. And if something happens, if just one game, one of these guys goes off and they win the right rounds here and there at the right timing, then all of a sudden you've put a team on the back foot who's now looking at a wall they didn't expect to be at.
Yeah, partly as well is what we call the China effect, in the sense that these guys playing a different style and against different players, against different leagues, they're going to be difficult to assess for Mouse, aren't they?
I doubt Mouse even looked into him, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean,
when
you're in the server,
game,
it's going to be like I'm sure there's going to be a weird.
Why are they there, or what are they doing now? Why would they do that?
A weird style of peeking a corner that they haven't really encountered before. Yeah, that's very, very possible.
Yeah, I think Mousesports studied them when they saw the initial matchup, because in the Swiss system, right, you don't really have that much time to prepare for your opponent, because you don't know who it's going to be unless it's the opening matchup. So they would definitely scout it a little bit, but I'm sure that they also have the mindset where they are aware of the fact that if they just focus on their own game, they shouldn't have too much problem dealing with Tengri.
Map veto-wise, we'll see those in just a moment. When you look back at Tengri's maps, it's again very difficult to assess how good they are in real terms.
Played, yeah.
A, not a lot of games, and B, not a lot of quality opposition. But we did learn from the minor is they're very good on Cobble, and they're very good on Mirage. So you would imagine that they would want to try and steer the veto that way.
Mirage would be like a compromise. You know, both teams really like the map. So that would be, okay, let's not do anything crazy. Let's just go for Mirage. Inferno is an option as well, but I think the rest of the maps actually are going to be vetoed out. So it is going to come down to who has the first ban or the last ban, but I think it's going to come down to between Inferno and Mirage.
Okay, I'm hearing that we do have the map vetoes momentarily. There they are. So let's see what we end up with. We end up on Inferno. So I guess that's not terrible for either side. Neither have played it particularly much, but again, Mel's be thinking, we've got the skill, we've got the players to win against this team, so we don't mind what we play?
Well, this seems in general like a map. Yeah, they're definitely going to feel that way, but just in general with Inferno right now, it seems like enough teams have started playing it again to where it's just kind of like a safe map. Like everyone kind of has a good concept of how to play it because it's one of the old, like the layout has basically remained the same. Some things have changed. But everyone seems to be fine playing Inferno at the moment, and yeah, when you look at the oppers, especially that that Mousesports has with Chris J, with Oscar, oppers who like to be mobile, who like to be aggressive. This is a map where an aggressive opper can just be punishing, can just end things. We've seen Alu do it down mid a couple times, but also just mobile across the map, even if it's not a double op setup. Movement around the map with an AWP on this, there's so many different places, and you wouldn't necessarily expect it with some of the corridors and everything, but you know, an opper towards B, you can peek down alt mid, you can be in A halls, you can be either side of middle with the AWP, so there's a lot of guesswork that goes on to where that op can be positioned that gives Mousesports an advantage.
It's a great point, isn't it, Yanko? And Ramzik presumably will be in these elements as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, but he has to be if his team is to have a chance in this one. And actually the veto process from Mouse is interesting, seeing as how they are the ones that vetoed Mirage, which is probably the best map for them. So in this veto, it seems like they targeted the weaknesses of Tengri rather than playing to their own strengths, which is another way of, you know, saying, we know we're the better team, we know that our third or fourth best map is still good enough to beat you on it pretty comfortably.
It's also smart in the sense where it's just like take out as much upset potential as you can. Like, yeah, we're good on it, but like let's get them on a map that they just are confused on you know, a little bit. Like take them out of their own comfort. Just more reason for Tengri to be uncomfortable.
Take less risks, I guess, isn't it?
And usually underdogs have the issue of sometimes being indecisive, you know, taking things slowly. They don't want to take any risks, you know, and stuff like that. And Inferno is a map where you can really get punished for that slow style if you're, you know, maybe even get a kill or take mid control, but then when you need to push into the bomb site through quad, you know, people are going back and forth. They're afraid of the guy who is in pit or balcony, and that's where you're just going to get shredded by the likes of Mousesports.
Or even just if you switch it over to the other side of the map, it's the same kind of concept with how the rotations work. Like if you're not very, very convinced and if you don't get over to a bomb site in time and you don't get that read in the right moment, if you're going to hesitate and stick around just because you're a little bit too cautious, your bomb site can get punished. And we've seen teams just get locked out now. Like there are just times on this map where you just say it's not even worth going for the retake. So both sides of the map you can get punished by indecisiveness.
Okay, thanks very much both of you. We will hear more, of course, from Moses and Yanko at the end of this game. We have a David versus Goliath matchup, the first one of the day. All the others have been very close today. But are they the underdogs? Let's find out as we head into match number 5 with the commentary team of Anders and Semler.
Thank you very much, Paul. And yes, indeed, we are ready with the game. Inferno once again in a best of 1. Just, I guess it's just a flavor of the day, I guess.
It's just becoming the theme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Overtimes, 30 rounds, Inferno. We've ticked them all off, Anders. That's it. All 3 check marked. We're good.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And as you can tell, the players are definitely ready and on the server, and we're ready too. This is going to be game 5 of the day. So there's still 3 more left after this, and they should all be very interesting games. Not to say that this one will not, although there is obviously a sort of a level difference between these two, but you never know in best of 1s. And Moses was saying, you know, maybe, you know, is Mousesports, how much will they even have looked into Tengri before we get into this? I mean, who knows? But that could be a mistake, right? You got to be careful, especially with unknown quantities, as these guys definitely are. So I kind of look forward to it. I think it'll be interesting. But I always think Mousesports has got the upper hand here.
They should have players on their team. Like I'm thinking Rops, I'm thinking Oscar, right? Rops in particular should be able to just kind of run into whatever is ahead of him and play his game. Yeah. So the fact that, yes, okay, maybe they don't have a whole lot off of Tengri, you're talking about players who excel in kind of like pug match sort of environments. And, well, that's exactly what you want in this sort of scenario where you don't have a lot of info to go off of. So yeah, I kind of expect Mouse to kind of run game here. The main thing is just, did Mouse take too much of a risk giving a map like Inferno over, where perhaps they aren't quite ironed out on it? Maybe Tengri, they've got something special lined up for him that could catch him off guard.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I still think Inferno is just a weird territory at the moment. A really loose setup here for Tengri. They just have the diffuse kit on Sonic and not much else, so no surprises are going to be coming out. Whereas obviously on Mousesports, they have that one smoke. That's not a big giveaway. It can be used almost anywhere. You could use it towards pit if you go A. You could use it towards CT spawn if you end up going B. Doesn't really say much about what the plan is here.
Yeah, exactly. Gives them some room for movement. The main thing here for Tengri, it's good for Mousesports that they actually start on T side if you're a Mousesports fan, just because they're going to get to dominate the pace and also really just perhaps catch Tengri off guard, just like that. Pachanga, the peak, and he doesn't get a follow-up, but SNK is still alive on the B site looking for that headshot.
Be falling back. That's probably a smart move. Just buy time for your teammates to get here. He's going to get shot down to 26 health. Not exactly ideal now. Ramsick has shown up, though. Maybe he could do something. Rest of the team pushing in from the other side. They need to coordinate this well enough. They are a bit hesitant, you can tell. Mousesports getting some room to work with. Oscar gets shot down. Fitch with the kill. Sonic is dead next in line, and Ramsick can't stand up to Lowell. That will leave Fitch alone. 1 versus 3. He's already taken down one, and he's got the fuse kit as well. Lowell goes down next. He's going to tap the bomb again. He's got a couple of seconds, and it's going to be all over. Robs is smartly waiting for him, and I think this is pretty much it. Fitch, he can't save it any longer. He has to go for the defuse, and he won't. So Robs, 1 kill in the round, just playing it smartly, not really overcommitting to that one. And Mousesports will pick up the round.
Yeah, Robs actually playing it very passively there at the end. When I would think that Lowell would know a bit better to play that angle as tight as possible instead of actually peeking out and giving that CT player a chance to bring it back. So, Mousesports have got to be careful. This is something as well that we see at times. Shout out to Sapphire, our in-game observer today for this match. But Mousesports have got to be careful that they don't underestimate Tengri. You start making mistakes like that, it's going to make rounds closer. You're not going to have as strong an autonomy if you're giving up shots. And, well, Prophecy's already down to 31.
That's just annoying. 1 scout and Ramsick. See, I would love it if he was... Yeah, that's it. Rotate out to Arch now. That's good. If you fire the scout, you should never fire the scout, more than 3 times in one place and move somewhere else. Don't let them know where it is. Keep them guessing. You can see Mousesports have made up their mind. They're like, right, well, if you're going to do that, we're just going to push him. But Pachanga picking up a kill, taking down Robs. And, Moses is right. That's just an amazing name. He will be falling back and actually gets taken down by Dennis through the smoke. That bomb is being planted right in front here. SNK not having any luck with the wall bangs. There should be a Mousesports round here after all.
This is looking perfect for Mousesports. They should have this situation on lock now because Ramsick still needs to get in here with the Deagle. He hasn't really hit any shots past the first one with this scout. And now Mousesports are playing it very well. They aren't peeking. They aren't overextending. They're forcing the clock to make Tengri get in here and actually try and take the fight to him. But Chris and Lowell finding 2. There's the shot with the scout and the follow-up with the Deagle, but it's not going to be enough. And just like that, Oscar, big round from him with the double kill.
That's a really solid move. That says something about the state of mind for Mousesports. They get fired on in the middle by a scout, and then they say, okay, we'll just go banana and do the execute, right now. Not too much hesitation at all. It's really frustrating when you see teams do that, especially, up against Deagles and scouts. That can spiral out of control really quickly, but they just went for it.
Look at this obscenity. What is Mousesports doing?
Oh,
They've
God.
literally just kept the Tech 9s. Scout on Oscar, he's got a Tech 9 too, and Rops is the only one to really pick up anything. He's got that Mag 10 looking to farm that money. Okay, then. This is talking about lack of respect. This is one of them. Mousesports right now.
Yeah, but even then, what a flashbang. Works perfectly. The Tech 9 should be just fine for getting these kills anyway here. They are messing about a little bit, but eventually they're going to pick it up. And now Ramsick all the way across the map. So all in all, they just lose Dennis, and now they're back on track here.
And Dennis has got $3 grand in the bank right now, so he's not going to be too sad about that.
Shout out to Tengri, though, for even trying the flashbang. We keep talking about this all the time, but such a minimal investment, and it can really work out well.
No, absolutely. Wondering if they showed their hand a little bit too much there behind the flash, if it was necessary to kind of rush and keep fighting. Guess they just really wanted to get it over with, get the action in there. If we can get a couple kills, good on us. Chris has got to be careful, though. That PC-50 can do some damage. He's got 4 HP, and he nearly picks up the kill on Oscar. Ramsick He's doing some work. Eventually, though, he dies to the one person he really didn't want to. That's a kill for Rops, and that's $600 more in Rops' pocket.
Yeah, he's going to be excited about that one. So now, Tengri, they can pick up the rifles. No Molotovs at all, and as far as I can tell, no defuse kits either. So they've got a really serious limitation, and it goes back to this thing that we've also been picking up on for a while about how teams not, sort of prefer not to buy so much in the second round if they lost a pistol. Like, don't buy the armor and everything because it can really backfire on a map like Inferno. You need Molotovs to buy time, so a bit of a shame there. See if it's going to come back to haunt Tengri later on. Right now, I would say at least if Mousesports slow play this round, they're going to have trouble on the CT side.
Man, Mousesports, they really are pushing it. Tech 9, Ramzik with the spray through the smoke blind will find the kill on Rops, but Lowell with the Tech 9 will find the kill on Fitch, and this is on Sonic. Snuffs Lowell, but the trades are working for Mousesports. They're still in this, 2-on-2.
What an aggressive round from Mousesports, just all over that A-bomb side right away. Dennis going to be very careful. Actually, I think maybe he just got saved because Ramzik was in that angle looking up towards the graveyard. But now, bomb is down, and that's a great shot from Dennis. Second kill of the round, taking down SNK, and now Ramzik, very low on health, and about to walk into a crossfire. There's almost no way out of this kind of 1v2, and making noise doesn't help either. Third kill for Dennis, and Mousesports, that's a critical round to be winning.
They're looking good right now, Mousesports. They are showing the proper lack of respect, right? Just get in there. With the Tech 9s as well, this is going to destabilize Tengri. It's a 4-0 lead now for Mousesports. Tengri are going to go on another round of eco. But more importantly, Tengri are realizing they aren't even buying rifles versus us right now, boys. Like, that's just a little bit painful. It's just a little bit painful. Looks like we'll have the stack on the B side again here for Tengri.
3 grenades as well on the CT side. I love this. Every time I never get bored of watching this, even though it only works about, I don't know, like 1 in 1,000 or something.
Yeah.
Like, the success rate is extremely low, but I still do get excited for it,
Yeah, some HEs here on Mousesports. There's one HE, but it was a little bit too late. Chris J finds the shot on Pachanga. And, well, will he be able to find the man over in the CT side?
Pachanga.
Pachanga. I feel like we're in a casino or something, like, Pachanga.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's just a great name. I just love it. But so far we haven't seen him live up to the name just yet. Got 2 kills, not too bad.
No jackpot just yet.
No jackpot yet. Ramzik will be going down after taking out Oscar, and Mousesports just making sensible decisions. They're like, right, if they're gonna throw grenades and shoot at us over at the B-bomb site, we'll just go somewhere else. Can't argue with that.
I really hope that Pachanga delivers like a multi-spray or something, so he's just like, Pachanga! Longest spray of Dennis's life. And we'll watch him here for Fitch to see if he can get a little bit of joy out of this round.
Oh. Had a bit of his shoulder peeking out. See, this is beginning to become a problem. Mousesports are not just only winning these rounds, they're actually getting quite a few people surviving and a lot of kills with, submachine guns and everything else. So, like, Chris has 10,000 at the beginning of this round, and he's just sticking with the UMP, and everybody else is above 6 and maybe even close to 8. So this is really a lot of money for the T side. Tengri going for a double-up setup now. A lot of people shy away from doing this on Inferno because of retakes, but whatever, man. You're against an opponent that's pretty tough. I say go for it.
You're going to have to pull out the big guns.
Yeah.
The big plays. Well, this is one way to do it. Oscar's got his AWP to balance things out over on Mousesports, and we all know what he's capable of with it. So it's looking like the old, this is an OG kind of strat. Flash to top mid. Guys push through the smoke. They swarm it and find nobody. Ramzik, though, gonna miss the shot. Still sets it up for Sonic from Pit to pick up 1 kill. Lowell, though, there to trade, and Sonic right now doing a fantastic job on this A defense.
And Ramzik finally picking up Dennis. There was some weird miscommunication from Mousesports, because once was it Lowell running in first to the bomb site? Once he gets that deep in, it's supposed to be enough that the rest of the team can follow through. Like, even if he gets killed from Pit, that's fine. Like, the rest of the guys should be able to grenade out Pit, and like there was just something missing in that setup for the Mousesports team. Now, interestingly, they're still in a 2-on-4, and they've got the bomb plant down, and Oscar just with a great angle against Ramsey there. They might be able to win this. Rops with a headshot as well, turning it into a 2-on-2. Tengri, this is the big chance to actually get around on the board. A good little shoulder peek there, but Oscar too quick, taking down Sonic, and now it's all on Pachanga. 1 versus 2, and he's boxed in, making a hell of a lot of noise, and Rops is there and waiting for him. Comes up short once again.
Does Rops get a prize if when he kills Pachanga, he shouts, Pachanga! does he get like bonus points?
I feel like there's got to be something like that. There could be some great Photoshops happening right now. Look at the ADRs.
What is it? What do old people play? Oh, bingo? Isn't it that? Yeah. They got
yeah.
Bingo! All right.
My God.
Still, dope name. Points for that. But
yeah, it is a good name, but in terms of winning the game, it's not carrying them. You know, it's not carrying them the full distance. It doesn't have enough power on its own, does it?
I do like this though here from Pachanga. Close to the smoke, bottom banana. If they try to make the play, he's got the UMP, but it looks like he's going to try and play it safe. Incendiary used fairly early on here to try and buy some time. Smoke was still up though, so it's interesting. I mean, when it's like you're going to use your incendiary, but you're not trying to force somebody out, and it's still so early in the round, so playing for time. Just interesting decisions there.
SNK single-handedly guarding top banana. He's getting a bit of backup now. This whole buy from Tengri is just fairly questionable, in fact. They have 2 people who still have some money in the bank, but everyone else is pretty much low, and random FAMAS, random M4, very little utility outside of it. Should be easy for Mousesports to break this B bomb side. All they need is 1 good Molotov, and it's the end of it, but it doesn't actually go back to the dark corner, so instead towards the coffin. So still, Tengri holding on to the site for a moment, 30 seconds left. There's Chris with the opening and very nearly gets the second one too. SNK still alive, but he does go down eventually. Sonic, now 1 versus 3. He's actually, for a minute, seeing the bomb there. Gets the kill on Rops. This is interesting. Don't run with the knife out. We've seen enough of that. The M4 still in play here. And he's going to try and make his way through the smoke. Right on the other side. Almost gets the speed boost there. Could have maybe taken out Dennis. It's closer than I thought it would be.
Me too. Dennis was low on HP. 1 bullet is what connected. If he could have got a second one in there, there was a chance. There was a chance to make that happen. Mousesports, though, in the lead 7-0. And really, it's not so much about getting kills in the rounds anymore, trying to control your opponent's economy for Tengri. They need to actually just start getting rounds on the board here.
Yes. Getting rounds, hitting headshots, these things are all important.
Some would say they are key.
They are absolutely essential. Yeah. I don't know, Pachanga to me also sounds like, you know, sort of like slang for, I don't know, like Chinese cocaine or something. Like, it does sound like that. Can I just get some Pachanga? Ramsick. There it is, picking up a kill on Oscar. That's the kind of start they needed, and SNK does fail to get that one. Smoke is going to try and block him off there, and he really wants the angle. Sometimes there will be a little gap there, but this wasn't one of them. Now they can just relax. I don't know why they're so frustrated. They've got the opening frag, 4 versus 5, and they've got bottom banana where Ramsick is pushed all the way down with the AWP. That's incredibly questionable. I strongly advise against where Ramsick is holding right now.
Look at this Mousesports. They're gathering up 4 players, and they're going to be committed to this A site. There are currently 4 players waiting on Tengri for the A push to come through. If Mousesports pull this off, it is insane. Pitch is there to drop the first one, though. Rops is out of the fight, and they are just getting shredded, although somehow Mousesports bring it back to a 2-on-2, and there's the kill from... What is this?
Well done.
They walk right into the stack and just run right over Tengri.
What can you say about that? I mean, that's just more or less out of control. And it is set up with some really nice flashbangs. I don't know, we'd have to go back and watch the demo for that probably, but some really great flashbangs towards pit and A site that allow them to even get out. But even then, that's just, it's hard if you're Tengri at this point. You get the opening frag, you stack 4 men on A, and you still lose the round. Like, how do you inspire the team to win after that? You're like, don't worry, guys. Next time, we'll just have 5 people on A, and it'll work. Like, what's the one-up from that? You don't even know. 8-0, they're doing the tactical timeout, which makes sense, but this is worse than I had imagined.
What talk going on there? the one moment where the coach can actually have a say, but the countdown has begun to get back into this round. And well, that was the bye round for Tengri as well. So it's not going to get any prettier, Anders. They're going to go for like a semi-bye here where they're just going to even their money out at 2,000 across the board for Tengri, but they're still likely going to get run over here by Mousesports. Pistol Kevlar for Tengri, not a whole lot to work with, whereas Mousesports, they've got everything they need. Yeah.
You see the difference in reaction as well. Chris J laughing. I feel like we don't see that nearly enough. And then Tengri obviously not having a good time at all.
Rinse and repeat.
You're absolutely right. Flashbang through the smoke. Don't even care about it. Ramsik on one angle, Fitch on the other. The C set 75, but he's not connecting. And getting back out again is going to be just almost impossible. Tries to make it down. Oscar there with the AWP to drop him mid-air. Sonic pushing in, but Oscar's found the groove, at least for a minute there, getting 2 good kills, and we'll get a headshot eventually. Don't think they care that much anymore, though. 9-0. They're breaking the trend, Semler. What are they doing?
You're right, though. They are. I mean, Lowell starts this round with 16,000. Nearly everybody is close to 10,000 or above. Mousesports are just giggles.
Yeah, although, we must remind you, you do need 12 rounds or something on T-side to win Inferno now. It's out of control, man. Nobody knows how to hold anything on CT anymore. I've had a discussion with Dignitas a bit today, and there was some discussion going on online. I think Nico was tweeting at me saying, actually, people do. I just don't see it. I think CT defense on this map has become very strange, and part of it is certainly due to the map changes. Like, I'm not saying that it's just all because people are playing badly, but I think there is an element of confusion going on most CT sides. Pachanga goes down to Oscar.
Oh, hit it. No, he gets it.
Man.
Oscar reigns supreme.
That's all he wanted. It's like he sensed it and just backed out. That's quite high risk to just be shooting through that wall, but does work out.
But that's where you perhaps see the lack of experience here from Tengri, right? Pachanga taking that fight with no flash when he had 2 teammates with utility. So at least flash him to top banana for that peak. Instead, Oscar just continues to dominate. They're not enjoying it. Not what they're into. 2-man advantage now for Mousesports.
Flash out for a teammate to look. That's some good fundamental Counter-Strike. It's what you need to see more of, but they still lose their lives. And actually, I think the peak from SNK was just like 3 seconds off from spotting Dennis. So that's just a real shame. Sonic has to hide. No reason why Mousesports wouldn't go and hide or find him. 3 of them have over 11,000, so they might as well just go.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit surprised to see them so calm. Robson, Lowell, bottom banana, Dennis and Oscar through CT.
Yeah, they are slowly converging on the B-bomb side, feeling like that's the most likely route. They're not wrong either. So 10-0. Now Sonic has been spotted. They're heartless. They're just gonna hunt him down, man. This is incredibly brutal.
Oscar with the quad kill, 10-0, double digits.
Yeah.
And he's at 13 right now. 12 for Dennis, 10 for Lowell. Like it's right now, it's just Mousesports really enjoying themselves. You know, to start things off, to get off onto a good footing in your first day of the tournament as well. It's not like you have to go and play a team after this, either if you're Mousesports, right? Because you could probably say you would want a tough opponent perhaps to start things off so you really get dialed in. But, you know, this is your one match that you play today, and then Mousesports can reset and come in tomorrow and really look to take it to one of the teams that's going to have won their first map.
Oh, trying to push down the middle. Pachanga going to be able to take down Dennis. That's a good start. And actually, I think a nice change for Tengri. I mean, if you're this far behind, it actually can become very hard to come up with anything. Like, the whole team just sort of shuts down. So, some forward thinking coming into it, trying to break the rhythm here, and maybe see if they can pick up a round. They are strangely boxed in for the moment. Lowell will get the refrag there. Turning around for a second headshot on Sonic. Now, Chris J sneaking up close to SNK. Actually picks up one, can't get the second one. Somehow we're back into a 2-on-2 again, but SNK not realizing that Oscar was going to be there. Oh no.
I know, it's so painful.
It is upsetting.
Oh, heard the footsteps though. Fitch knows somebody's in apartments.
He must have realized, but still realizes Oscar is back there somewhere. I mean, they've got so much time. They're just letting Lowell do all the scouting, and Oscar holding on to the bomb in the meantime. Is he really going to wedge himself in between them. This is madness. There's almost no way the Mousesports can realize that he's right now flanking one of their players. Might be perfect. 30 seconds. There's the kill on the bomb carrier. And now he can fall back. That is what Tengri needed to try and get the first round on the board here. Lowell is on the other side. He's going to put in a Molotov just to try and force him back. I'll give him the bomb. 17 seconds. He shouldn't be allowed to plant here. Fitch just has to play the time.
Fitch, I mean, you've got the mad life leave as well here. No time. Trying to make some noise, but Lowell just sticks it. And now it's all on Fitch. Can he find the shot? It's going to be the 50-50 angle, and it's not going to happen. Lowell just ruining it for Tengri. 11-0, and I bet...
I'm so sad.
I bet, you know, Lowell just grabs Fitch by the shirt at the end there. Whispers, turns out you are Fitch made.
This is just not exactly what we were hoping for, and certainly not what Tengri were hoping for. Again, they've really tried to create, you know, good situations for themselves. They had 4-man stack on A. They went for the mid rush. I mean, they're all really close to working out, but on an individual level, it just seems like Mousesports is just a couple of steps ahead.
Yeah, and they keep this sort of situation keeps happening for Tengri as well, where they're getting that man advantage. Now they need to just capitalize on this. Actually make it work for themselves. Mousesports, I mean, look at how passively Mousesports are playing as well. Although they did manage to get Dennis very quickly up towards Arch, towards top mid, so putting a little pressure over there. But then Mousesports have been very good about waiting out the nades, waiting out everything at bottom mid in case Tengri go for the aggression again.
Moving back towards the B bomb side, it seems. Always going to be a problem holding it. A lot depends on how good Mousesports grenades are here, but if any one of them, both the positions that they're holding right now, both Pachenga and SNK, can be Molotov'd out. So we'll see if Mousesports are going to try for it. They certainly have a lot of grenades. One of them going to be raining into that back corner, so already SNK down to 50 health. Sonic gets a headshot, next in line SNK, and then Pachenga's down. Rops opening up that bomb site. Fitch and Ramsik trying to get the spray, but just not finding the angle. And now it's a 3-on-2.
And the setup is here for Mousesports as well. They've got 2 towards Banana, ready to hold it. Rops, all he needs to do is really kind of just worry about construction. But he does go for the peek into CT. That gives there an opening, but Fitch, once again, 1v2 for him. No kit picked up. Both players there ready and waiting for him. Oscar with a double kill at the end of the round. 12-0 for Mousesports now. Still with just an insane amount of money. And well, Tengri, you're just going to have to keep on forcing, guys. It's a bit too late in the day. You just have to keep going for the force buys.
What a brutal way to get started in a tournament like this, you know. Makes you feel like you're not really seeing what Tengri have to offer here. I mean, everyone really can have a bad day, and also we don't know about the map pick if it's, you know, necessarily their favorite map. But right now, this certainly is looking very bad indeed. 12-0. It's been a while since we've had, like, I almost don't want to say it. I almost don't want to jinx it, you know.
Don't. Yep. Yeah. We all know. We all know. Don't worry, Anders. Oh, Ramsik, he hits the flash. They just can't catch a break. Dennis with the headshot. Lowell hunts down Sonic. And Fitch will try to get the double spray. He nearly does it as well. But Dennis is just obliterating him left and right. SNK, the last man alive here for Tengri, walking into a 1v4. Bomb just now planted.
SNK slowly creeping up with the UMP. At this point, I would say find a rifle somewhere if you can. Maybe if Chris dropped one, I don't know. There's no reason really to try and go for a 1-on-4 retake with UMP. Oh, well, that's a nice headshot on Dennis. Yeah, back off. Just take that one win. Quit while you're ahead. Or alive, even. Oscar going to be creeping in, and that's going to be the kill on him. 13-0. Wow.
I'm impressed. I was a little worried that Mousesports would start just messing about a bit too much, right?
Yeah,
still possible.
That happens.
Still possible, but so far, I mean, Ramsik, that's just, you know, you got to shake your head there. That kind of sucks. But the spacing was good there with Dennis following up behind Chris J, ready for the rotate through library as well. And you got to give it to Dennis. He is definitely one of the heavy hitters now on Mousesports. Big change in this roster ever since Nico has has left between Oscar and Rops stepping in as well. But
Yes.
Dennis, his individual level, seems like he's a man you can count on here for Mousesports.
Yeah, and that's certainly a change from when Nico was on the team. So
Absolutely.
it's it's interesting to see if that will continue and develop, and if they'll actually make it all the way through the qualifier. And that's not even, I think, a given, although they have been playing well.
So a system here, in case you guys are wondering.
Yeah, which is interesting. It's so unpredictable that it can either be great for a team, or it can be really frustrating, depending on what everyone else is winning or losing. 14th round is coming up here. We've got the game resumed after Tengri had a tactical timeout to try and figure out how to win rounds. And Molotov's all over Banana here, just trying to make sure they've got everything cleared out. That's become sort of a main stable of just picking up top Banana control. Everyone does this. Bit of a different setup from Pachanga and SNK over here, though, with Ramsik also sneaking in. This could be good. Grenades are up. Pachanga with the wrong weapon in hand, and they both go down. Ramsik picks up 2 big frags through the smoke as well. Is it enough, though? Does he realize they've already made their way through? Certainly sees the angle, but...
Sorry.
They just didn't know. They had no idea.
I thought the Lowell was going to peek behind that, because once you start hearing that click, 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 it's perfect.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
It's perfect for Lowell to just be like, you sprayed all your bullets, did you? Okay, now you're going to be a free kill for me.
They had the setup. They had 3 men there, and Mousesports were coming through the smoke, but the first point of contact was someone holding a smoke in his hand to sort of... It's just so unfortunate. 14-0, 15th round is coming up here, and we'll see what Tengri can do. Just one round, guys. A single round.
It's got to happen. I mean, it's... but then you have to kind of give it to Mousesports as well. They are playing seriously here. We've seen teams in the past that get to this sort of position and then they just start buying auto shotguns, stuff like that, messing around. Mousesports, they really are doing Tengri the service of not cutting any corners for him. They have gone for the double up on T side here on Inferno, which is interesting. So that's probably like the nod, right? But I mean, it's still Chris who's opping, and Chris can still mess you up on a good day.
A 1 grenade that did that much damage? He had armor.
Is the grenade bug still in the game?
Yeah, I think no one's ever figured out exactly how that works. That did 80 damage. That's not really possible unless he was unarmored. I think he wasn't. I might be lying about that. Fitch holding on to the A-bomb site with a little bit of help from Ramsik here. They don't really have any kind of utility to try and hold Mousesports back. And again, I think it's true, though. It's a good point. Mousesports really just seem like they're just grinding through these rounds. There's no fooling around here, and they really can't afford to do that anyway. They've got to make sure that they are on point. Ramsik will get 1 kill on Dennis. Does go down. Fitch trying to see if he could win that round, but ultimately it will be a 15-0 win for Mousesports.
What was that from Chris? I wish that we got a replay. I hope we got a replay from Chris there. That was bananas. Bananas.
Bananas.
I mean, he just kills one guy, and it looked like he was dead to rights, and then he whips around and gets the second one.
It's classic stuff, isn't it?
Chris, man. Just not around. All right, CT side now. Tengri just got to run out of sight. Just run at it.
Yeah, I think if you slow this down against Mousesports, then there's a chance that their aim will just overpower it. I mean, it's been so long since we've seen anything like this. Second half coming up, and as you can tell, the score here, 15-0 in favor of Mousesports, but Fitch making props his Fitch, and Lowell going to be falling back, trying to see if he can stay alive, but not quite quick enough. Instead, it's Chris J now on the coffins. Tengri looking to pick up their first round, and Chris can't really hit his shots either. Stennis going down next in line. Chris to fall. So Oscar, well, he's not even going to get a chance, is he? Tengri pick up a round. There it is.
There it is. They've broken it. No 16-0s on this land so far. That is something that, I mean, that is a pin. You know, Chad has a couple of them as far as I remember. But that's a pin you don't want to be getting if you're competing on land.
No, that's true. We don't make fun of that. We don't make fun of Chad nearly enough for that, do we?
It's true.
We could spend some more time doing that for sure.
No, that's agonizing. But at least Tengri, they won't suffer that badly. They won't wind up in that illustrious club, and it will be Instead, 15-1. Full buy here from Tengri, and a force, of course, from Mousesports. And an aggressive position here from Dennis in Apartments. This is not something that we see very often. I like it.
Goes for the C-set 75. It's absolutely lethal here, but ultimately not going to be put to use as SNK came in with flank here. Surely 15 rounds on T-side is enough to win the game. I'm just saying. It can't be that T-sided, can it?
That would be not as, I mean, we'll see. There we go. Oscar with the dig. Gets the nice shoulder jiggle peek there. Little do they know, however, that this is going to be an A hit. And oh, are we hearing footsteps? That must be it. It must be Lowell from the site calling out that he heard steps in mid, and sure enough, Oscar will be there to win the duel versus Ramzik, and he nearly takes out Sonic as well.
Even the body shot there is actually quite significant. He's down to 51 health, and now they're trying to wrap the site. They haven't checked the apartments though. Rops is up there with a 5-7. He's going to come out, shoot a couple of bullets, get a headshot on Fitch, and he's trying to fall even further back. Here comes Chris J with a deal, missing a lot of opportunities, but he will get the shot, and now it's all on Pachanga 1 versus 2. They should wait and try and coordinate. Pachanga has to try and get out. That's actually a good move on his part. Doesn't want to get boxed in the bomb site at all. Chris is there. Just a couple of bullets away from death, but a headshot landing long range. That will be it, ladies and gentlemen. 16-1 in favor of Mousesports as they take down Tengri in just a lightning match here on Inferno for game number 5 of the day. Can't believe what we just saw. It's outrageous.
But a team with a guy whose name is Pachanga has lost. That's a winning name. He kind of wins because of that, but yeah, no. I mean, it's the thing is that Mousesports now, they are a strong roster. They are a threat even to the tier 2 to the top tier teams, and so it was always going to be that uphill battle for Tensky. Or for Tensky. What's
Tengri? Tensky was
right.
on.
I know. I keep thinking Tensky, and I'm like having to catch myself. No, but yeah, it's just a bit of a tough break.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and just say that the pressure and the overall atmosphere and then maybe the map and the opponent